100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. The chaos of yesterday's MLB trade deadline is over, and the Brewers surprised us with some late-breaking additions. Announced shortly after the 5 p.m. deadline closed, Milwaukee added to its bullpen by trading for the Diamondbacks pitchers Shelby Miller and Jordan Montgomery. Now, however, Montgomery underwent Tommy John surgery in April and won't pitch for the Brewers this season before becoming a free agent. Milwaukee is acquiring those two pitchers in exchange for cash considerations or a player to be named later. The Miller trade was announced shortly after the Milwaukee had already traded away lefty starter Nestor Cortez along with a minor league shortstop prospect and cash to the San Diego Padres in exchange for Brandon Lockridge. Some more unfortunate news for the Brewers came last night when GM Matt Arnold announced that outfielder Jackson Chourio is also likely headed for a stint on the IL after hurting his hamstring during Tuesday's win over the Cubs. Read more about the Brewers trade deadline over at ESPN.com. Brewers back at it tonight as they take on the Nationals at Washington, D.C. First pitch, 5:45 p.m. right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Tausch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special. Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is the Jim, Matt, and Molly Takeover, presented by Coors Light on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We got Homer, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
We have
Pessimist Molly.
No. Realist.
and then Contrarian.
Total.
Jim Rutledge here.
Jim's an onion. You got to peel back the layers to get to the good part.
Love, Goff, and Darnold are unique names. Williams is a very generic name.
Almost as generic as Brown. I totally understand.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
You're the best.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside gold medalist Matt Hamilton and downtown Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly, the takeover of Wilde and Tausch. Good morning, ESPN Wisconsin, Beaver Dam, Milwaukee, and Madison. I am Jim Rutledge. This show is often presented by Coors Light. As the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
That's right. I have the power. We are in the Ho Chunk Gaming 1917 Club today as we are here for a Upper Deck event at Camp Randall. Matt and I have not had our chances to get out and take some swings, but people here are ready. The experience looks blue chip, and we are excited for it. I'm alongside Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. Not an Olympian, but still a winner.
Apparently not a golfer either, because you didn't include me in potentially going to go take some swings out at Camp Randall.
Did you want to?
I mean, I've thought about it, but I'm also very nervous. I'm just trying to survey the land and see how many people are on each of, like, the tee box things. Because if there's people there, probably not. But if it's just you guys, I'll take a couple swings, because then I won't be embarrassed.
Daniel Landscaper coming in hot on the Carbostock text line 844-770-3776. This is more. Says he'd like to start the day off by saying the Cubs still suck. Well, they're
Daniel Landscaper.
They're one game behind the Milwaukee Brewers for the best record in the National League. They are tied with the Milwaukee Brewers at 4 games apiece of 8 games played so far in their series. There's 5 games left at Wrigley Field. And you know what I just saw? I saw that ESPN called the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs losers at the deadline, which is true. I did this yesterday on the show.
Moves we made?
I am holding both teams, and you can follow at Jim Matt Molly to see the video from yesterday. I said yesterday when we kicked off the show at 4 o'clock, if the Cubs don't add a top-of-the-rotation starter, it was a failure at the deadline. It means that they were not serious about winning the World Series. They just wanted to win the division. And I want to get to some audio from Gabe Neitzel from yesterday morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on ESPN Milwaukee, where it wasn't so much the 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 o'clock deadline time that the Brewers failed. They failed earlier by not adding a bat. But I want to get to ESPN Matt Hamilton. And it says here, the Brewers are hardly losers in the big picture. And that's why the Brewers and Cubs both fall into the other loser category. But you can make a case that, they added Brandon Woodruff, and Jacob Mizorowski is a nice addition. They did get reliever Shelby Miller from the Diamondbacks. He's having a good year. But you're relying on Andrew Vaughn, who was terrible with the White Sox prior to joining the Brewers, as they got him for a song. Love that turnaround. Love that phrase, get him for a song. Ryan O'Hearn would have been a nice addition, capable of playing first base or outfield and improving the bench, but he was dealt to the Padres. That's interesting with Jackson Churio dealing with a hamstring issue. The Brewers are battling the Cubs for the division title, and I think this is true for both these teams. Avoiding the wild card series will be huge because as you look at the Padres, and this is me talking again, the Padres did a lot, and the Padres will likely be a wild card team because they're facing off against the Dodgers to win the West. The Padres did a ton, and if you're a Cubs fan or a Brewers fan, you'll be like, oh, my God, if we have to face one of those teams, it's going to look really embarrassing if we lose to those teams that made a bunch of moves at the deadline to get better, specifically San Diego, while we basically stood pat. So neither the Cubs or the Brewers seem that interested in trying to win a World Series. They seem more interested in winning the division and making the playoffs. Both franchises cheap in their own way. The Brewers don't like to trade. They are in the prospect acquisition. They're in the prospect acquisition business. That's all they want to do. They want to acquire prospects. They can't give up prospects because how are they going to backfill when their players get expensive and earn their money? The Brewers don't want to pay the players the money they earned. They want to pay players ahead of time, like Jackson Churio.
Sweet idea.
That's what I mean. But that's like Jackson Churio. But quickly they want to sign a guy like Jackson Churio or Jacob Mizorowski to deals so they can underpay them. Because then when they get market value, they want to move on. But to be fair, as if you're new to ESPN Wisconsin, I'm a Cubs fan, the Cubs just did the same damn thing. They're worried about losing Kyle Tucker. They don't want to pay him. Now, the threshold's different. They don't want to pay him $500 million. That's like 7 payrolls for the Brewers. They don't want to pay him that, so they didn't want to trade their top prospects because they want to have cheap replacements, some top-end players to replace them, so they didn't go get a pitcher. So both organizations, I've just come to the conclusion that apparently nobody in the NL Central cares about winning a World Series. They want to win the budget Olympics, and they want to win their division, and then say, hey, you know what? We're football. Chicago's a football town. Wisconsin's a football state. We just got to get to September. And then who cares? People will be mad for like 3 days, and then they'll move on to their football team.
Is this the first time that you've ever felt like the Cubs want to be in the budget Olympics?
No.
I feel like you've never said that about the Cubs. You've only said it about the Brewers before.
Well, we've only been doing a show. I've said it about the Cubs. This is the first time they've been a contending team that they've been cheap.
Okay.
Because before they blew it up after won the World Series, you can make a case, you blow it up, you trade off your prospects, and then they were trying to rebuild. But they spent the money on Counsell. But now they're a team that has the ability to compete for a World Series, and they said, you know what? We're not going to do it. So they are actually in the position to make a run for the first time in a few years because the last time they did spend the money. They did make the trades. They brought in Aroldis Chapman. They did all those things. This time around they didn't. So I got to call it as I see it.
Is it?
I don't want to come on the air and call the Brewers losers or cheap or not serious about winning the World Series without doing the same thing to my team. And I don't think either team is serious about it.
Is there potential for, I guess, both of these GMs to think, and I think it maybe applies more to the Cubs because I feel like they do have the money to keep their players around. Could they be looking around the league and think the trade prospects that we could have gotten weren't true like scale tippers, so we're probably not quite ready to win the World Series?
I love that question, and I want to get to it in a second. But I think there was one that was available for a price, a very good price, and we can hear from Gabe Neitzel, who was on ESPN Milwaukee every morning, John Gabe and Chewy. He was on yesterday, and he had some great thoughts on the Brewers not acquiring the biggest bat at the deadline. Not quite for a song, but not quite the price I think people were expecting. Let's hear Gabe.
It's a gut punch. It's a gut punch because it wasn't that much. They gave up Tyler Locklear. Not that you know any of these names. He was the Mariners' number 9 prospect. They gave up a right-handed pitcher who was a number 16 prospect and a right-handed pitcher who was their number 17 prospect. They gave up 3 prospects here. The pitching prospects worse than the ones they gave up to get Josh Naylor. I thought that Logan Henderson would potentially be like the center of a package. You could have given up Logan Henderson, who's a top 100 guy, and probably been done with it compared to what the Mariners actually ended up giving up. So that's the tough part for me, is just kind of a gut punch of, they didn't really overpay. Kind of feels like an underpay.
And who was that trade?
Eugenio
Suarez.
I've heard people call him Gino. I'm not a fan of that.
I don't know. I don't follow the Diamondbacks
If
a
it's
lot.
his nickname, then I'm not going to choose if it's good or not.
Well, I mean, okay, I like ours better.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. You were the one that got us to say, Eugenio.
Eugenio
Suarez.
I was waiting for the Suarez, but okay.
All right, so I want to ask this question, our Siding Limited poll question here on the Jim, Matt, and Molly takeover of Wilde and Tausch. Are you confident the Brewers are going to represent the National League in the World Series after the trade deadline? So after the trade deadline, are you confident that the Milwaukee Brewers are going to represent the National League in the World Series? 844-770-3776. That's the Carbos Talking text line. List is more.
Well, they didn't get worse, right? Didn't we say that they got marginally better
if you're
yesterday?
Not getting better, you're getting worse. Isn't that the phrase?
Then we got better.
You did?
Marginally.
But compared to whom? Like Philadelphia made some pretty
compared to not making any moves at all.
Okay,
I think, are you comparing it to just
Matt,
the people in the NL Central?
But Matt, that's not what it means, though. Like, it means the Mets got better, the Phillies got better, San Diego got better, the Dodgers have a real case of all the money they spent, they're going to get better. So by them getting better and you doing nothing or something very much in the margins, you got worse because everyone else jumped you. They got better. It's not like the Brewers are headed.
I don't know if that math checks out, but I'm no mathematician. So I'll let you slide on that one. I'm a mathematician.
You don't understand addition, and if you add more than some, like let's say someone was 3 spots behind the Brewers and they added 5 wins, then they would be in front of the Brewers if the Brewers even only added 1 more win.
You're speaking Chinese to me right now. Brewers are the best team in the MLB right now.
True, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking are they going to be the best team in the National League when it's all said and done?
I have a hard time, like, wishfully thinking, I think that they have a chance to do it. But realistically,
I'm basically asking, is not getting Suarez going to bite the Brewers in the ass? Are they going to be in the playoffs and come up short
that's my big
with a
question.
bat?
If we had Suarez, were we all of a sudden like, Brewers are real contenders
Jeff Passan, I believe on this show, said they were 1 bat away from being legitimate World Series contenders. And they are legitimate World Series contenders. So are the Cubs, so are the Mets, so are the Phillies, and so are the Dodgers and the Padres as well. I think if you're a playoff team, you're a legit World Series contender. But the NL Central, they just kind of looked at each other and said, hey, you do nothing, I'll do nothing. We'll just cheap our way to just trying to win the division. And that's what the Cubs and the Brewers did. So they might be able to win the division, which sets them up. But now they're playing a dangerous game. You do not want to be the wild card team in the National League because the Phillies and the Mets and the Padres and the Dodgers and the Cubs are all in the same ballpark as the Milwaukee Brewers as far as a very good baseball team.
So I guess back to my original question, was there anyone who was good enough with the Phillies and the Mets making moves and the Padres making moves? Was the addition of Eugenio Suarez enough for us? So, if they were all adding and we added something like Suarez, we were also going to be in that mix, that contender title?
I think you could make a very strong case.
Okay.
It'd be like adding Josh Jacobs to the team last year or McKinney. I mean, it's that
field
sort
tilter.
of – yes. Yeah, he's a field tilter. And also – I feel like you could add up the starting infield for the Brewers, and they don't have as many home runs or power numbers as Suarez has. We talked the other day about
just infielders. I mean, Reese Hoskins was our only hope to maybe catch that number.
And you might be able to throw a few outfielders in there as well. So,
Yeah.
and then with the Churio news, you need the Brewers. I know they've been hot in July, and maybe the numbers will rise. But even with an incredibly hot July, so think about how bad they were before this. In an incredibly hot July, I think they were top 10 in slugging percentage. They're 24th in Major League Baseball, and slugging's not just home runs. That is total bases divided by at bats. So that means, and triples to me, that's not a power number. Singles obviously are not a power number. It's doubles and home runs. Those are power numbers. The Brewers are lacking in that. Suarez would have given you both. And so I'm not saying the Brewers can't get to the World Series. I'm not saying they won't win the World Series. But they would have tilted their chances incredibly in their favor to really go for it. And as Gabe Neitzel pointed out,
It wasn't that much.
It wasn't that much. And we had, and I know, hope this doesn't trigger people here, but we had Dave Kaplan on from Cap and J Hood on ESPN Chicago, and he had something about both teams, and both teams didn't follow his advice. But let's hear from Cap because we had him on earlier this week on Jim Matt and Molly.
Okay, but here's what I'd say to you. That Brewers team's good enough to win a World Series. They are. When you could throw Mizorowski and Freddie Peralta and Jose Quintana, you can. I'm not saying they will. They can. The Chicago Cubs also are good enough when you can roll out there Kyle Tucker and Pete Armstrong and Michael Busch and all of these dudes, Nico Horner. They have enough to do it if they go out and address their bullpen and maybe a high-end starter in their rotation. They can. If Mark Atanasio, who I've never met in my life, doesn't look at this team and go, if not now, when, and push the chips in, then he does not care about winning. That's just a fact.
I mean,
you can do it, Matt. I get it to my team. You can say my team cared more about the future economics of their team. Well, I'm talking about the Cubs right now, than they cared about winning a World Series. That's what I'm calling my team out. You can say my team either got bamboozled out of a very affordable trade for Suarez, didn't participate in that trade, or chickened out because they still never want to give up prospects because prospects are the lifeblood of an organization that never wants to pay anyone fair market value.
You're right, but isn't Suarez only good for the rest of the season anyway? And then you would have to pay
This
him?
is your season.
The World Series happens in this season.
I know that, but like you said about prospects, they're the lifeblood. If you get rid of a good prospect, that could be a player for time for the Brewers.
What do you want as a fan? Do you want prospects or do you want a World Series?
Just think back to when you heard Jeff Passan on Wilde and Tausch just a couple weeks ago. Like Jim said, when he said the Milwaukee Brewers are just one bat away from being a World Series contender. That made you feel excitement. That made you feel happy. That made you feel like, oh, my God, my team is finally so close. And now you're trying to, say, well, he was just going to be a one-time thing.
Like
he was only going to be here for a couple months. You only need a couple months.
CC Sabathia was the greatest loaner in all of baseball history. Teams that win the World Series often acquire a loaner to get over the top. Matt,
it goes back to that question, Molly. Do you sell your soul for one season and then have 5 seasons
I've said that about the Packers. Yes, as a Packers fan, give me a Super Bowl and they can suck for the next 5 years.
Stop being a coward. I'm giving you an out. I'm calling out my own team for not giving a crap about winning the World Series.
Well, that's on you being a bad fan, Jim, not me.
Unbelievable.
That's good with his team saving money. He thinks it goes into his pocket.
I still have that.
You're not.
I still have this chip in my pocket where if they don't do well, say they end up losing the first series that they play in the playoffs, I can just be like, oh well, they're just cheap. They can't afford to compete with the Padres or the Dodgers or the Phillies.
So here's the thing.
You're literally guarding your heart when it comes to being
100%.
That is all it is.
I've learned.
Here's what it is. He has no expectations for the Brewers. You know that thing of what you want. Like yesterday when Evan Cohen was burying you and I because he has expectations for us and he holds us to a standard, and he does not have any standards for Matt Hamilton.
Exactly.
That's Matt.
It was
Hamilton.
awesome. He was like, Matt, I'm not including you in this. I'm like, thank you.
I don't expect anything of you, Matt.
Thank you. I don't expect anything of me either.
But that's Matt Hamilton with the Brewers. He has no expectations. He expects nothing of them. He has no respect for them. He just wants them to, and this is what Mark Atanasio wanted. He was quoted saying this. You just want a good time till football season starts. When that foot hits that ball at the start of the NFL season, you've checked out emotionally, which is most baseball fans I think in general, especially in the state of Wisconsin,
I've only got so much love to give. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't focus
because
on
if the
all
Packers,
these different teams in Wisconsin
did
all the time.
If the Packers did the same damn thing, you'd be upset.
Matt, you do know that you're not an owner of the Brewers. I know you're an owner of the Green Bay Packers, but you're not an owner of the Brewers. So your pockets are not getting lined from either team, just so you know. Just to make you aware. I'm not sure if you knew that.
He wants to get invited back to throw the first pitch.
Yeah, that's also true. I can't say anything inflammatory on the radio
Well,
in case
win
they
a gold
want
medal, okay?
That's a good point. That's the best way that I found to get to throw first pitches.
Yeah.
And then we'll tag along.
Yeah, perfect.
Molly can catch. I'll cheer you on. 414 chimes in twice. Strofe is a clown. Okay.
Thank you.
I'll allow it.
No idea.
Allow it.
Irrelevant.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, the takeover of Wilde and Tausch on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is the Jim, Matt, and Molly takeover of Wilde and Tausch.
Matt, you I don't mean this in a mean way, but you kind of look like your dog.
Moose is a handsome dog. So
you have beautiful
no
dogs.
offense taken. No offense taken at all.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Ever thought about hitting a golf ball in Camp Randall Stadium? Well, now is your chance. On August 1st and 2nd, you can enjoy a VIP experience while hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium down to custom greens on the field below. Start and end your round with great music, cold beers, food, and numerous golf challenges. Event is open to all ages, but hurry because tee times will go fast. Go to upperdeckgolf.com to book a tee time today. That's upperdeckgolf.com.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know it's not just a car, it also drives your children's dreams. So whether you're going to soccer practice, robotics club, or opening night in the school play, we help protect those dreams. Save up to 23% when you bundle auto and home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going. Lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Immediate live show streaming. A homepage customized just for you. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN.
If you're just doing this because you're starting to not believe the Packers are going to bring in a number 1 wide receiver.
The ESPN Wisconsin app. Everything in the palm of your hand.
Who are the top guys?
And Dobbs.
That is the problem.
No, I totally agree.
You have never called Xavier McKinney the wrong name.
Available in the Apple and Android App Store. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I'm mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
It is a Fish Friday on Jim, Matt, and Molly. Takeover of Wilde and Tausch across ESPN Wisconsin. You can see us in the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. If you are, you can see the amazing Ho-Chunk Gaming 1917 club that we are in, courtesy of Upper Deck, as they have a golf outing going on here where you can hit the balls onto Camp Randall Field, Barry Alvarez Field at Camp Randall. You hit it from the Upper Deck, as it says, and it's kind of like a Top Golf sort of thing.
Yeah,
so it's a
they've
good
got
time.
whites and greens that are I don't know if the lights just like blink naturally or if they actually have some sort of like RFID chip sensor in the ball that when it goes in, they're like, "Hey, good job."
So did you see that there was a picker out there?
Yeah,
like a person in the picker thingy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So if you
That'd
go
be my
player,
new
you
target.
guys-
Yeah. Forget the green. It's the picker.
I don't know if his cart will light up or not, but it's worth a shot.
It lights up black.
Yeah.
Because that's all he'll see after you hit him. Molly Brown, Matt Hamilton with you. We have Jason Wilde coming up next segment here. We did ask our first Siding Unlimited poll question. You can chime in on the Carbos Talking text line 844-770-3776. List is more. Are you confident the Brewers will make the World Series after their inaction at the MLB trade deadline? 85% of you say no.
That's a strong tilt in this poll.
Daniel the Landscaper chimes in. It's Wisconsin sports to a T. They do just enough to stay relevant and keep flowing. That's it. The owners don't care about champions, period. We also have 414 chiming in. Suarez is a risky rental. This is Andy from Milwaukee. Suarez is a risky rental. He's streaky, currently batting .215 since the break with 2 good games against the bad Cards. Thank God I'm not Ron Burgundy there.
Yeah.
Andy. Come on now. And he just had his hand x-rayed after getting hit in the hand a couple days ago. You need a rental to be basically a lock for a small money team to justify the risk. He ain't it. And he's got more on there. I'm going to go back to what Gabe Neitzel said because he's far more in tune on baseball. I get that the cost was not prohibitive. He basically said maybe I forgot the pitcher we brought up yesterday, but like
Logan Henderson
or Yoho or a Gosser-type pitching prospect, Henderson in the top 100. So if you give up Henderson, but as I list off 2 other guys who are ranked close to him in the farm system, let alone Chad Patrick, and you got Quinn Priester, and you have all these other pitchers, like you're loaded up on pitching. So that is a position of strength where you could give up a prospect that, yes, Logan Henderson might turn out to be good, but, and I understand a Suarez-type player is a like a risk because it is a rental, but Suarez I always go back to the baseball card. Like, smart baseball fans understand that Vaughn is going to fall back down to earth. And what happens when he does?
Don't tell Matt that.
And I said smart baseball fans, so Matt is automatically excluded.
Oh, man. Contrarian and pessimist over here. I'm just surrounded
I
by
haven't said anything.
negativity.
I'm just going, like, baseball at the end of the season, you play to the back of your card. And Suarez might regress some. I don't even care about the average for him. The Brewers need pop because all we do is talk about pitching, how great the pitching is for the Brewers. We face the Dodgers, and our pitching is going to be great to shut down an amazing lineup. The Dodgers' pitching has to be mid to shut down this Brewers lineup. Like, that's the trade-off that nobody seems to understand. And so I'm going off of Gabe Neitzel's point from Jen, Gabe, and Shuey the other day. Maybe we'll play the audio after we talk to Wilde. We'll get back to it. But basically the point was Suarez was not that expensive. And so for the cost of acquiring him, it would not have mortgaged the future, and it would have set the Brewers up with a realistic case to be the number 1 contender to win the whole damn thing. Now they are in contention in the National League to maybe go to the World Series. If they acquired Suarez, they might have been the premier team to go win the whole thing.
Okay, so you've talked about all the other moves that all the other teams in the National
Yeah.
League have put together, especially like the Padres.
Yep.
We looked at their stuff yesterday with all the moves that they made in one day. It was crazy. Which of these teams do you think, after the trade deadline, is going to be the one to represent the National League based on
I'm
what we're
still gonna
comparing
go
them to
Dodgers.
the Brewers?
I'm still going Dodgers.
Dodgers. And
Okay.
honestly, in my heart of hearts, if we got Suarez and you asked me that same question, I still think it's the Dodgers.
Yeah, but again, that's loser talk. No offense. Because
Whoa.
but like
The Dodgers are so good,
who
and they
cares?
spend so much money
Who
on
cares? But
premier players.
if-
Adding one guy.
Okay, so if not when, if not now, then when? Because they do it every year, Matt. This was you are the best team, team in baseball.
yeah.
All I hear is snack face Jesse Nelson telling me all the time about how the Brewers are the best team in baseball, and then but you don't believe in them. Because if you're the best team in baseball and you had the best bat at the trade deadline, then you feel like, you know what, Dodgers, and your money, we are going to win the budget Olympics this year. We are going to be that Hamilton team that came out of nowhere, through the trials of the Olympics. You guys were a surprise, right, when you guys won the gold, compared to
at
you
the
were down to your
Olympics,
last chance. Yes.
Yep.
So that team was an underdog.
And look at us. We didn't make any moves at the trade deadline of the Olympics.
And you didn't make any moves. But also, we talked about this, Matt, and we got to get to break. But you do the trade deadline thing. Every year is not promised.
You're right.
You kind of indicated that your team that finished in fourth place at the Olympics last time around was maybe a better technically team than the one that won the gold, but the one that won the gold had luck is a residue of design. You're not luck. Like, you put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
You put yourself in the position to get the right breaks, and I don't even want to say luck, but like
Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yes. And sometimes it can work against you, that you might have had a better team when you finished fourth, but that team is not the team that won the gold.
That's true.
And so the Brewers might not be as good as the Dodgers, but they would have given themselves a better opportunity to go win the World Series if they had gotten Suarez. We'll talk to Jason Wilde about the Green Bay Packers. Next, this is Jim, Matt, and Molly, the Takeover, Wilde and Tausch.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Washington Nationals.
Fly ball, deep right, bye-bye baseball! Salvatore, a solo shot to right.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here, and I am so excited to tell you about what I've cooked up with the team at Pizza Hut. Well, I've been telling you for a long time about how much I love Pizza Hut, not only now, but also going back to when I was a kid. Well, Pizza Hut's taking us back to those childhood memories with a special Throwback Thursday event in Platteville. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Thursday, August 7th, enjoy special throwback prices at Pizza Hut in Platteville. A medium one-topping pizza for just $6.50. 8 boneless wings, just 65 cents a piece. Breadsticks and cinnamon sticks, just $1.34. Fountain drinks, just 77 cents each. And a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza for just $11. I'll be hanging out with some special guests from noon to 2 after the Wisconsin football practice, so stop by, enjoy discounted throwback prices, and enter for a chance to win a signed jersey or pizza for a year. Throwback Thursday at Pizza Hut, Thursday, August 7th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., exclusively at Pizza Hut in Platteville. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This August, guests at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison are diving into the sea in search of a treasure trove of cash. So come on by and seek your fortune. Starting at 6 p.m. on Saturday, August 30th, 24 winners will each select a cash prize of up to $5,000. Then at 9 p.m., one grand prize winner will swim away with $20,000 in cash. The treasure chest is full, so dive into the fun at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the belt line at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
We're on the Badgers.
Team's in a good spot. Culture's in a really good spot.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
And now it's just about, hey, can you get back to that bowl game and hopefully get one or two of those marquee ones?
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Help me understand a little bit more clearly what you're asking. Did you ever hear it called Don't Go Jason Waterfalls? Is this Matt Hamilton?
I say that so helplessly, but I feel like it.
Desperate sound in your voice.
Yeah. I am.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly's takeover of Wilde and Tausch.
What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that?
The Jim, Matt, and Molly takeover of Wilde and Tausch continues. Primetime overtime back at the Everlight Solar Studio. Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown with you at Camp Randall for the Upper Deck event. And we have a tight window with the great Jason Wilde. So I want to get into the questions we had for Jason as quick as possible because his day job is covering the Green Bay Packers, and Matt LaFleur is speaking in a little bit here. Evan Cohen said earlier today that there might not be a quarterback in the NFL who has a wider range of outcomes of maybe Jordan Love. At the end of this year, he's either going to probably be defined as a slightly above average quarterback in the league or could be all the way up to elite and somewhere in there. And there's probably not a quarterback that you could make that sort of broad statement about because you look in the North, Caleb's not going to be called the best no matter what he does this year. Neither would J.J. McCarthy. I doubt nobody expects Jared Goff to take that step. So even in the division, the one guy who we kind of know the floor, we just don't know the ceiling and has the widest range of outcomes is Jordan Love. What do you think of that statement?
Well, even though it's from Evan Cohen, I like it. No, he's right. And I couldn't agree with him more because I cover the team every day. And by the way, my tight window is because LaFleur's at 950. It's not because I want to get rid of you three.
No, we mentioned that you had to talk to LaFleur, yeah.
So I don't know what love is. Apparently only Foreigner
I want you to show me.
Yeah, I want him to show me what love is, right? I mean, I think it's the perfect, all kidding aside, if you're into 80s hair bands, Foreigner sings it pretty well there because I think he's good. I agree that his floor is that he's good. But what is good? Geno Smith has been good at times in his career, right? Baker Mayfield is we have to probably give him credit for being better than good, but we probably downgrade him because he hasn't been as good as a number one overall pick should be, right? So I'm very curious to see what this season looks like for Jordan. He's looked better than just good so far in camp, but I still think the jury is very much still out, and luckily for us, Jesse's not on that jury.
Jason, we actually made a comparison earlier this week, Wednesday actually, that Jordan Love statistically is very similar to a Baker Mayfield. And then we ended up asking, is that okay to our fans? And surprisingly, it was fairly split, slightly skewed no, but like 51-49.
And this was before. I mean, this is not even including the breakout year for Baker. Just on average, Baker's about 64% completion percentage,
28 touchdowns, 8 picks,
8 to 12 picks, and 3,800 yards.
Do you think that's a fair assessment that we came to?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I saw that poll. I voted in it, and I struggled with it. And I saw that after I voted, it was 51-49 then, so it didn't change much thereafter. Yeah, I mean, I think, I keep using this line, and maybe it's just because I rarely come up with really good one-liners, but I really like this one. He is right now a quarterback you can win with. He is not a quarterback that you consistently win because of him. And so I'm very eager to see if, kind of going back to what Evan was saying, if he's going to become a guy that you win more frequently because of than you have to this point. Like, look, he was great in Dallas in that playoff game. There's some other games where he's been really, really good. But, again, I don't think that he's – like, how many games did the Packers win during the Rodgers era that they won because of Rodgers? I don't know enough about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' success or failure to be able to speak intelligently as to whether or not they win a lot of their games because of Baker Mayfield. The one quarterback you don't want is the one that you win in spite of him, right? That your defense is so good or whatever else it might be that you're able to win even though your quarterback isn't very good. I don't think he's that guy, but I definitely think he's got a ways to go before we're talking about him as being the reason the Packers win frequently.
How'd you vote in that poll, by the way?
I voted yes, that would be okay, because I do think they can win a Super Bowl if he plays at that level.
Jason, we kind of had the conversation last week on our show of whether or not Matt LaFleur's seat is hot. And that's not what I'm asking you about, but that kind of conversation came up because of
you agreed that it was not, right? You guys agreed eventually that
I believe
they tried to convince me.
No, Matt. No. The point was there is a scenario, unlikely, but there is a scenario.
His seat's warm. We can't deny that his seat is warm.
Jason gave the best answer when we asked him about it before. It was like, most likely scenario is that the Packers might just extend these guys by a year each next year, and then all of a sudden they can kick it down the road and see what happens.
Yes, but again, that's not what my question is. But just all of the stories that are coming out from training camp just this week alone with the Rasheed Walker's fight and the teammates running after, like, with him, and just everything that's coming out about Packers training camp and the way that LaFleur is kind of approaching this year's training camp, at least from the outside looking in, that we're hearing. Do you think that Matt LaFleur struggles to keep his players in check? Like, should we be questioning his leadership?
No. So here's the problem. They have decided, and it is a top-down decision. It is Goody, it is LaFleur, it is the other coaches. They believe that this team was not physical enough, which is a euphemism for they were soft. They got their asses kicked by the Eagles, at least offensively, right? Their defense was way more physical than the Packers' offense was. And I think there were games where their defense wasn't physical enough either. And so they have basically said, look, we need to be more physical if we're going to get, Goody's line was, we want to be a certain kind of team that can go deep in the playoffs, and we believe being more physical is the key to that. And so they're doing something that, quite frankly, is a little bit out of, I think, LaFleur's comfort zone, because LaFleur wants teams that are smart, not necessarily ones that are, he's not the one up there like Dan Campbell talking about biting kneecaps, right? When I think of physical teams, I think of the Eagles. I think of the Lions for sure. I think of the Baltimore Ravens. Like, that's their brand, right? the Packers have never had that brand. I mean, they had great defenses. They had a great defense when they won the Super Bowl in '96. They had a great defense in '09 when Woodson won Defensive Player of the Year. They had a great defense in '10. But they've never been viewed as this physical outfit. And so what they're basically trying to do is force kind of a metamorphosis. And I think when you try to be different than what you have historically been, there are times where guys are going to go over the line and not do it the right way. And they signed Nate Hobbs to be exactly who Nate Hobbs has been. Mm-hmm. Now, I personally don't want him hurting my own guys. Mm-hmm. And, they can spin the Marshawn Lloyd injury however they want and say, well, it wasn't really caused by that hit, which I'm not sure I believe. But they can spin that. But the fact of the matter is the stuff he's doing is exactly his brand. That's why they signed him. Rashid putting J.J. Enagbare on his back, that stuff happens in camp. I personally don't have a problem with making him run a lap. I know it seems juvenile, but the outcome was really good for connectivity with their team. So I guess I look at it as there's been a couple of little fires that have come up, but I don't think this is some sort of inferno that we should be sitting here going, this guy can't control his team. I think that's preposterous.
Jason, I know you got to get to the floor here, so you can end it whenever you need to, but going back to the Love conversation, that he's kind of proven he's a guy you can win with, maybe not because of that. Because of is the unknown part. When I look at the Packers roster, it seems like they've built the roster with this combination of young players who need to step up and mainly on offense as a roster that's really designed for a quarterback that you can win because of. And, that's the disconnect I see between this team is that the Packers didn't go out and do what Baker Mayfield had, where he's loaded up with a ton of weapons and made Baker Mayfield from, mid or slightly above average to last year he was elite. And I think the Packers are building the roster like Jordan Love is already elite.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Now, I would also add this. I think they think they've loaded up with a bunch of really good weapons for them that just haven't fully matured. And I think that's kind of the differentiation there is I think they think they've got a bunch of great guys that are going to be really good. They just haven't been consistently. But that goes back to what we've talked about for months on end now, which is, maybe they're good, maybe they're not, but we've seen only glimpses. And if they become these consistent guys that play at that level consistently, then they're going to be fine. And if they don't, they're going to be pedestrian and they're going to be making the playoffs and getting booted in the first round, and they're going to get one-year extensions for these guys. And sooner or later, we're going to get to the point where we're going to question the way Goody has built this team and whether it's built to just be competitive or built to win.
Awesome stuff, Jason. I know you got to go talk to Coach LaFleur. Make sure to ask him all his question to see if are you tough enough to run this team.
Tell him hello for me too.
Does your seat feel warm? And have you lost control of the team?
Please
8 days
do.
into training camp.
They're
on the list.
Says hi.
I got you guys.
All right,
and Matt
Jason.
Hamilton says hi. Did you know he won the gold medal? Yeah, I'll do that too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
That is Jason Wilde taking the time to join his own show, Wilde and Tausch. He's going to talk to Matt LaFleur. I'm sure we'll have some audio from that. After he does that, this is Jim, Matt, and Molly Takeover, Wilde and Tausch. Breaking news from Diana Rossini. The Micah Parsons-Cowboy relationship has deteriorated to the point where the star pass rusher is considering drastic measures, which could include a trade request or even a declaration that he is severing his relationship with the team, per multiple league sources familiar with the situation. Time that with Terry McLaurin wanting to trade out of Washington. And,
Packers are about to get some really great players.
If Goody didn't think that the Packers were Super Bowl ready already, Parsons or McLaurin could be a heck of an addition to the team. We'll talk about that on the other side. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly Takeover, Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison. You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com.
In for Pablo Iglesias, I'm Jesse Nelson. Morale has been down for Wisconsin football fans since the end of last season, but appearing on ESPN Madison's Jim Matt and Molly, former Badgers running back Melvin Gordon has a message for fans getting ready to come to games at Camp Randall this season.
Just have faith. You not having any faith is not doing anything for our football team. That's not helping us win games. Come in early, be rooting early, be loud, find ways to help give us that advantage when people come into Camp Randall. The fans make the difference. They do.
Find the full interview with Melvin Gordon available on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals help fuel my love for acting. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Ever thought about hitting a golf ball in Camp Randall Stadium? Well, now is your chance. On August 1st and 2nd, you can enjoy a VIP experience while hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium down to custom greens on the field below. Start and end your round with great music, cold beers, food, and numerous golf challenges. Event is open to all ages, but hurry because tee times will go fast. Go to upperdeckgolf.com to book a tee time today. That's upperdeckgolf.com.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honey's. This summer, soak up the sun and savor the flavor at Buck and Honey's. Their spacious patios are the ideal spot to enjoy award-winning dishes, craft cocktails, in an unbeatable atmosphere. Perfect for a casual lunch or a night out with friends. Plus, with fresh seasonal dishes and exceptional service, they're here to make every visit special. Visit their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb. Celebrate summer the right way, on the patio with great company. I'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Sing it, Matt Hamilton.
I don't do karaoke on the radio.
I just imagine you singing into your curling broom as you're at home.
But I love that Matt's he fancies himself like a professional karaoke. I don't give it away for free.
Well, no. I'm a terrible singer, and I don't have enough liquid courage right now to go on the radio.
Drink
and
your
sing.
water.
That's not the liquid courage I'm looking for.
Needs a Coors Light.
Exactly.
Molly Brown, Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you. We are at Camp Randall for their Upper Deck event. We are hanging out in the Ho Chunk Gaming 1917 Club. It's fantastic up here. We're having a good time. We're taking over for Wilde and Tausch. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Primetime Laura Shine back at the Everlight Solar Studio. You get into the show, 844-770-3776. Molly, you touched on a poll question we asked the other day, and it's a side of them with a poll question we can revisit with the fans listening right now. Would you be okay if Jordan Love turns out to be as good of a QB as Baker Mayfield, or at least that sort of level QB? And the reason why we asked that question is that we were just kind of – I forget exactly why we were looking at Baker Mayfield's stats, but these numbers sound familiar. Honestly, if you were a casual Packer fan, you might assume these are Jordan Love's numbers. Now, Baker Mayfield, as a true rookie, completed 64% of his passes for 3,700 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. That is absolutely a sweet spot of Jordan Love numbers, right? I mean –
maybe a little high in the picks, but
he threw 12 and he missed 3 games last year.
Not 14.
He threw 11 last year.
Or 11 and he missed 3 games last year.
Not 14.
I think it's pretty on point. Also, Baker did it in year 1 in the league, not year 4.
Let's remember that was probably a 16-game season too, so he had one less.
Oh my God! Like you are probably the worst person for your wife to argue. And I'm this way at my own house. Let's just peek behind the curtain a little bit, right? Yeah. I get so defensive, like only towards my husband. Everybody else, I'm like, oh, you're trying to make me better. You're trying to positively critique me. With my husband, I'm like, good God, like. Let's fight. That's what you're doing right now. That is what you're doing.
You're not wrong. It's pretty accurate. Come at me, bro.
Well, because the other part of it is, pull back the curtain completely, Matt is in his feels because he doesn't want to upset anyone in Milwaukee because he agreed with all this 2 days ago. But now he's on in Milwaukee. He's like, no. I have to be Homer Matt Hamilton. The outlier here is the Browns' second season. He completed only 60% of his passes through 22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. Jordan Love has never had a season like that. I don't think he will. But then, so honestly, if you took away his worst season, 2019, and his best season, 2024, that's where these numbers seem similar. So if we took away 2019 and went from 2018 to 2020, 63% completion percentage, 3,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, obviously better interceptions than Jordan Love's ever done. But otherwise, that seems pretty on point. Now, his last year with the Browns wasn't great. But 61%, 3,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 13 picks. He clearly was hurt that year. He comes back with the Bucs, 64, 4,000, 28, and 10. So if you kind of average those numbers out, ballparking it, it's around 64% completion percentage, 3,800 yards, 27 touchdowns, and we'll call it 11 picks. A QB rating of 94. That's essentially who Jordan Love is. If you just took away Baker Mayfield's worst season and his best season and averaged out the rest, it's
pretty close.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Just give me last year's Baker Mayfield.
I'm not
Jordan Love.
But if you want that,
wait, would you take the picks along with it? Because last year, 41 touchdowns,
4,500 yards,
16 picks,
71 completion percentage.
I get that, but 16
it's better
picks
than
is a lot.
Last year.
Yeah,
no, 100%. I have no problem with a gunslinger who's going to put up 41 touchdowns. 4,500 yards and is going to throw more interceptions than your average NFL quarterback. I would be.
I don't have Love's numbers. I still think it's a better touchdown to interception ratio than what Love had with 41 and 16. Because 41 touchdowns is a lot of touchdowns. Or it's probably very similar.
25 and 11
for Jordan Love. Yeah,
very similar.
Yeah. So when you look at that side of it, I do see that. I think and I'm not saying it as a negative. I think the Browns now, again, the Browns are a bad organization and moving on from him. There's a lot of different things, and maybe he needed to mature. So we're taking away the abstract of Baker maybe needed to grow up a little bit, but Baker also had to start day one and being put in that position as a 20-something-year-old being the face of a franchise. And we all can agree on some level the varying effectiveness of it we can talk about more, but having been able to sit, be able to learn how to be a professional, be able to learn the offense, be able to learn your footwork, be able to relearn some things in the NFL was a benefit to Aaron Rodgers and to Jordan Love. We can't simultaneously talk about how great the Packers are developing quarterbacks, but letting them sit and not acknowledging letting them sit gave them a head start. So Jordan Love, I don't think will have the volatility of that really bad season or some of the maturity issues because he's already mature by the time he's a starter. So I think continuing to get Baker Mayfield level numbers out of Jordan Love, the key would be, and that's what I talked about with Wilde, is then building a roster like Baker has.
Yeah.
And getting him more playmakers.
Okay, and do you trust Brian Gutekunst to do that?
No, I think, and this is the disconnect, because I think the Packers think that Jordan Love is Aaron Rodgers when he might be Baker Mayfield. And you can win or go to a Super Bowl with both. You want to go Jared Goff as well, that's fine. Jared Goff has gone to a Super Bowl.
Does anybody actually believe that Jordan Love is Aaron Rodgers? I think the
Packers.
I don't think I've ever met anybody.
I think the Packers think he's going to make that jump.
Do you think Goody thinks that as well? Or do you think that Goody thinks that he might be a plus-side quarterback who you can win with, but they're trying to build the team around like a Ravens-Eagles style build?
Because they've done more for Jordan Love in his first couple years as a starter versus what they ever did for Rodgers, it feels like.
Feels like
they're
babying
actually
him.
drafting
the wide receiver
But Brian Gutekunst also has to protect the pick of Jordan Love because he blew up the entire organization because he picked him. So he has to do everything within his power to make him succeed. Because if not, everybody's going to say, you gave up Aaron Rodgers, MVP Aaron Rodgers, you drafted Jordan Love for, you did all this to get this guy that's not actually becoming who you thought he was going to be? No, he doesn't want that. He has too much pride.
And again, to be clear, Jordan Love, and I agree with what Wilde said, at a bare minimum is a above-average quarterback in the NFL. We know his floor, and his floor is a above-average quarterback in the NFL. But if Jordan Love, and again, forget the names of Baker or Jared Goff, whatever, if he spends his career as somewhere between the 12th and 9th best quarterback in the NFL, are you going to be happy with that as a Packer fan? And let's say it's Jared Goff. You get to obviously without the trade, you get to an NFC Championship game, you get to a Super Bowl, you don't win anything, you're perennially right there on the fringe of elite, but not quite there. That level of career, I think his play style plays more to Baker Mayfield, but if that's Jordan Love's, I think that's fine, and that's not a rip on Jordan Love.
No.
But again, I've said this before, I think Green Bay has evolved more into, a lot of these fans take more pride in being QB town and MVP town than it is title town, because they have, I believe, probably.
Well, that's what we've had to hang our hat on the last couple of years. It's not
now
necessarily that we want to be that.
That's your identity.
That was what we were able. That was our cop out. That was me saying, well, the Brewers don't spend as much money, so I'm okay with them making the playoffs and not succeeding in the playoffs. Same kind of thing with the Packers. Well, we had the best quarterback in football. We just got a couple bad breaks.
You're
and so you hang your hat on it.
Your bragging rights.
Yeah,
we've talked about this before. I don't care if how many MVPs any of my favorite players win. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm not getting an MVP.
Because I'm going to be honest, if I won
if Caleb Williams wins the MVP, you're going to be stoked.
Only to give Matt crap. If he wins MVP and they don't win the Super Bowl, what do I care? I'm not going to have an MVP. I'm not going to have an MVP T-shirt.
Yeah, I disagree. I think you would.
I don't look. I
think you would because Chicago has never Chicago's never had a great quarterback.
I don't have a Derrick Rose MVP T-shirt. I don't have any Jordan MVP stuff. I don't care about those sorts of things. I haven't rooted for losers my entire life. I don't have any MVP stuff from the Cubs. I care about the Cubs winning the World Series. I care about my team. I'm not saying that I'm or bust. I enjoyed other seasons, but I'm saying for individual success, I really don't care about it unless I'm trying to talk crap to my friends.
Right.
But I'm not hanging my hat on it. I'm not buying my kids anything. I'm not hanging a banner for an MVP.
I'm not saying I want Caleb Williams to win an MVP, but right now I'm saying I want Caleb Williams to win an MVP just so I can prove you wrong, because I guarantee that you would be stoked and it would come up in every single conversation with you.
I don't think there's a lot of Ravens fans or even Bills fans that have Lamar Jackson 2-time MVP shirts or Josh Allen 2024 MVP.
I'm the biggest Jordan stan in the world, and you could pay me $1,000, and I couldn't tell you how many MVPs he's won. I really don't know, because he's got so many.
But he's also won how many championships, too, so you can hang your hat on that. But, if it's Caleb Williams, he doesn't win a championship, you're going to be excited when he wins an MVP.
Here's how I put it. If he goes from...
Matt, tell me I'm right. Get on my side.
From the longest time I've been with Jim, I promise you he is definitely only championship title seeking. He is going to think that's a neat little feather to put in his cap, but he's not going to buy that
I can use that
T-shirt.
for being excited, kind of like Matt did, of we're always in contention. I can use that to be excited about the future of the Bears, but I'm not going to be like, man, that MVP season for Caleb was my favorite.
This unfortunately tracks for Jim.
Ryan?
Unfortunately.
I know I'm right.
I wish you were right. I want you to be right so I can call him a hypocrite.
I think I gotta agree with Jim. I think it's more about the fact that
you guys are full of crap. He's gonna throw this in our face. Stop.
Crap.
He will throw this in our face, and I can't wait.
He's hedging. He's hedging right now.
I don't want Caleb Williams to win an MVP. Okay, I don't.
Good. Me neither, Molly.
whatever. I'm over it.
You know what I want? I want
one
Caleb
of you
Williams.
guys is going to be on my side.
If they're looking right now, I feel like there was a Cubs player that won an MVP during that good run, but I don't know.
But you don't have the same passion for the Cubs as you do the Chicago
Kyle
Bears.
Schwarber?
You love the Bears more, and you want more success for the Bears versus what you want for the Cubs, I believe.
But not for the player.
But all you talk about is Caleb Williams and the success that he's going
Because
to have.
it leads to a Super Bowl. It could be Mitch Trubisky. I don't care who the quarterback is. Honestly, I would.
Rex Grossman.
Right. Rex Grossman got the quarterback. Rex Grossman and Jim McMahon have been the Super Bowl quarterbacks for my team. Neither one of them, and I love Jim McMahon, neither one of them are good.
Okay.
So I want the Super Bowl. Now, I think for Caleb that the Packers had in QB Town, and this is the part where it matters, is that because you had Aaron Rodgers, you always had bites at the apple.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears have had elite defenses which are not consistent. Turnovers are not guaranteed year over year. All those things they're not guaranteed over year over year. Well, I've been telling it to you guys. All right, this is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Grassland butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by the new ESPN Wisconsin app, home to all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows at the touch of a fingertip. Plus, find featured content, enter contests, and more. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the ESPN app in the Apple and Android app stores today. Well, the chaos of the MLB trade deadline is over, and the Brewers surprised us with some late-breaking additions last night, announced shortly after the 5 p.m. deadline closed. Milwaukee added to its bullpen by trading for Diamondbacks pitchers Shelby Miller and Jordan Montgomery, though Montgomery, who underwent Tommy John surgery in April, is not expected to pitch for the Brewers before becoming a free agent this offseason. Milwaukee is acquiring those 2 pitchers in exchange for cash considerations or a player to be named later. The Miller trade was announced shortly after Milwaukee traded away lefty Nestor Cortez along with a minor league shortstop prospect Jorge Quintana, as well as cash to the San Diego Padres for outfielder Brandon Lockridge. Lockridge could have a chance to see the field soon after there's some unfortunate news for Jackson Chourio last night. GM Matt Arnold announcing that he's likely headed for a stint on the IL after hurting his hamstring in Tuesday's win over the Cubs. Brewers back at it against the Nationals later tonight.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special. Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me. I don't think so. This is the Jim, Matt, and Molly Takeover, presented by Coors Light on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Okay, a military wife.
You.
A deep sea fisherman.
Jim.
And a lead conductor for an orchestra. That was actually pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Matt, you I don't mean this in a mean way, but you kind of look like your dog.
In honor of Molly Brown, and your nickname was?
Maladina Muffin Pie. Savage. Why are we not making Foo-Foo say Foo-Foo constantly? Daddy, don't call me Jimmy anymore.
Yes, it makes me feel better that you were like this the entire time.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside gold medalist Matt Hamilton and downtown Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is hour number 2 of the Jim, Matt, and Molly Takeover of Wilde and Tausch. Jim, Matt, and Molly is presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power. Primetime Warshine's back in the Everlight Solar studio. I'm alongside Molly Brown, who's fixing her hair, and Matt Hamilton.
Go figure.
Who has put his hair up in a bun.
Fixed.
Go figure.
Fixed his hair. We are at Camp Randall for the Upper Deck event. We're having a good time, and we are in the Ho Chunk Gaming 1917 Club having fun. And you can get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Carbos Talking text line. List is more. We started the show talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. ESPN called them one of the other losers, along with the Cubs, at the trade deadline. Our poll question is, are you confident the Brewers will make the World Series after yesterday's MLB trade deadline? 81% of you say no. Ron in the Key says he didn't think it before, and he definitely doesn't think it after. We did have a question up the other day that you can chime in on as well, is would you be happy if Jordan Love turned out to be as good of a QB as Baker Mayfield? Because if you took out the best and worst seasons of Baker Mayfield as a full-time starter, the stats are pretty similar. And Baker Mayfield, I'm not saying that as a negative. I think Baker probably got ran out of Cleveland too fast, and I think that I know this is not a bold statement. The Packers are 10 times the organization of the Browns, and so if Jordan Love is that type, he just kind of seems like that type of QB, where there could be some volatility in his game, but he makes some big plays. He can make some big mistakes. I'm setting aside the maturity things that I think Baker Mayfield has worked through, and I think that goes back to the organization. I think the Tampa Bay Bucks are very happy to have Baker Mayfield as the face of their franchise, and for what they're paying him, by the way. I believe it's like $30 million. Instead of 55.5. But that aside, so maybe we should add that little asterisk to it. Would you be happy if the Packers were paying Jordan Love Baker Mayfield money?
It would make it a lot more.
Because he's playing like Baker.
Right.
He's getting paid like Aaron Rodgers, playing like Baker Mayfield.
Is he getting paid more than what was Aaron Rodgers' highest contract?
I would imagine.
With the Packers?
Yeah, because every year they go up.
I mean,
so
yeah, I understand that.
I mean, look, at least not the Cowboys paying.
Dak Prescott $60 million.
And now you've upset Micah Parsons to the point where he's either asked for a trade or not show up for the Cowboys. And we also have the Commanders, Washington Commanders. Terry McLaurin is asking to be traded away from the Washington Commanders, and I find that interesting, and I want to throw it out to everyone right now. And don't do the initial, no, our receivers are good. I think Scary Terry could be, if we think Jordan Love is Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff level, Scary Terry could elevate this team.
He could be Jordan Love's Mike Evans.
They go from where I think
Baker Mayfield. You know,
yes,
making the comparison.
we got it.
Well, you laughed at me like I was crazy.
No, just yeah.
I think if they added McLaurin, they would go from a team right now who I think is viewed similar to Minnesota, where you're like, could be third, maybe win the division, probably either second or third. That's where the Packers and Minnesota, I think, fit. Mm-hmm. Different question marks. Minnesota's roster is elite. ESPN just said Minnesota has the best coaching staff in all of football. I think they had the Packers at 10. So there's that side of it. And then you go to the Lions right now are, I think, still viewed as the clear-cut favorite to win the division. Because, you lose some coordinators, which is important, but if you go from 15 wins to 11, it's still probably putting you in pretty good. They have far to fall.
If you just look at the talent on the field.
I was going to say, they have a good roster and they have a good head coach.
You have to have pretty bad coaches to make a talented roster like that look
exactly
bad.
But if the Packers added someone like Scary Terry, then I think that can make a case to elevate them to be the favorite to win the North.
For sure. Clear-cut number one. Veteran? Oh, my God. I would take him in a second.
Only 29, so he still fits the mold for Goody?
Yeah, it's a little old.
82
not 30. Not 30.
Well, maybe that mold isn't working for Goody. 82 receptions, 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns last year. So that's obviously – and that's when he had, for the first time ever, a quarterback. So imagine what he would do. You would take those numbers. They're number one across the board for everything for the Green Bay Packers.
I mean, there's no way that he's leaving the Commanders, right? There's no way.
Now, my question is –
why not? He wants $33 million.
Because they're not going to risk losing him.
I agree, but
just got Debo.
Oh my God! Yeah, Debo, who's on the end of his career. You didn't watch the wide receiver show where he's literally just getting treatment the entire show.
He's close to I used to zombie Chris Middleton the last year and a half with the Bucks. So I call him that.
It's
or
a great comparison.
It's zombie Samuel at this point.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean it's not the same guy, but
I'm just trying to make fetch happen. I'm trying to get Terry.
Look, I get
in Wisconsin.
But Terry,
good in green and gold.
I mean, nobody does. But
Get out of here.
he's a player that would elevate the entire team. And so my question is, I'll throw it to you guys. You can chime in 844-770-3776. Carmen's talking text line, Liz is more. Would you want the Packers to trade for McLaurin? And then you guys both seem like a yes. What would you give up?
Jaden Reed.
No. Don't say that.
They're similar size players, I feel like. I don't know this for certain, but I feel like they could have similar roles in an offense. You don't need two guys that are like that.
I just like Jaden Reed, though.
I like Jaden Reed, too, but
can we get rid of Dobbs, Watson, Dontavian Wicks? Can we give up three guys?
You can't just trade away a
Why?
poo-poo platter.
Because, Molly, you've played fantasy football a couple times. When you try and offer, like, let me give you 3 bench players for your starter,
Exactly.
nobody accepts
Like,
that
the
trade.
Commanders have
Nobody.
NFL scouts, too. Like,
Yeah.
they're not just like, I guess, you know.
Oh, they were starters on your team? Oh, well, yeah, good deal.
Her trade is like in the movie Meet the Parents when he goes to, like, the Walgreens there, and he's like, do you have any really nice champagne? We got Mums.
Let's meet the Fockers.
Fockers, sorry. Do you have anything that's – no, it was Meet the Parents is the first
Nope,
one.
that was the first one.
Yeah,
Meet
that's
the
the
Fockers.
first. Right,
It's the first one.
Because
he has to go meet. Wait.
Yes, I am right on this.
Huh.
The Fockers is the second
Yeah,
one.
now I got to think about, okay, he is the Focker.
You're the Focker because you screwed up my story.
Sorry, that was
All right.
bad. Okay, continue. Yes.
Thanks, Fokker. Did you know, just a side note, they had to find one family in America with the last name Fokker to be able to name them Fokker without having like an R rating or whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Anyways, meet the
Ryan
parents.
dumped this whole thing, by the way.
I haven't been recording any of it. Don't
we're
worry.
disconnected. We're off the air.
Yeah.
Look, we're in hour number 2. We're close enough to our 4-6 time in Madison. Madison, we have fun in Madison. We're not uptight like Milwaukee and Beaver Dam. Like, we have a good time. So
It's not tight.
Taking
I'm
shots.
not tight.
Oh, my God.
Anyways, meet the parents. He goes to like a Walgreens. He asks for, hey, do you know, nice bottle of champagne? The clerk's like, we got Mums. She's like, no, do you have anything expensive? And his answer is like, well, you could buy a bunch of Mums.
Yeah.
That's
what Molly's trying to pitch.
Yeah, the Commanders call the Packers like, you got anything good?
Hey, did he end up buying that bottle of wine or champagne or whatever and Meet the Parents?
I don't think
That's unfortunate. That would have proved my point.
He did not buy a bunch of He did not buy a bunch of Mums. So
what would you guys give up?
The Raiders?
Other than Jaden Reed.
So I wanted to get to this one.
Other than Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed is the guy you give up.
No. But you're not just going to do a single swap. They're not just going to swap.
Right,
what else are you giving?
The Raiders sent, this is going back to the Devontae Adams trade. The Raiders sent the Packers their first-round pick and a second-round pick. And so if you gave up
Jaden Reed in a second-rounder?
Oh, that's maybe
a first-rounder?
Yeah, Jaden Reed in a first.
No, it's not that much.
Okay.
Jaden Reed in a second?
There's no first-round pick involved if the Packers are. If they're trading Jaden Reed too, then no. Then the Commanders are getting arguably a better asset. You're getting a guy who's way younger, not as good. Don't get me wrong, but you're getting a guy who you can have on the team for probably 5 more years and be a contributor. The reason they don't want Terry McLaurin or they don't want to pay him is because he's about to be 30, and we all know that Goody hates 30-year-olds himself too, so he's not giving up a first-round pick.
So Reed in what? Second?
A second-round.
I would say Reed in like a 4th.
Okay. How about we shoot
Honestly.
the difference here? Reed and a
You sound like you're negotiating like Goody.
Yes, because
Here's,
this is
I'll
what
give
he
you
would-
Jaden
I'm
Reed
not saying
a fourth and half-eaten breakfast burrito.
I'm not asking what the Packers. I'm not saying what the Packers would give up. If you're okay, we'll go with this. If you wake up tomorrow, you're a Packers fan. You see Jaden Reed in a third-round pick is traded to Commanders for Terry McLaurin, which then means money coming in. Obviously, you're going to pay him. Are you happy with that?
I don't need coffee because I've got excitement to tide me over the rest of the day, if that happens.
There would be fans who I think would be upset with that. That's a
Molly.
good question.
No. I wouldn't be upset if Terry McLaurin comes. I would just be like bummed because I genuinely like Jaden Reed. But I could get over it if they're bringing in a guy that's going to make your team potentially Super Bowl contenders. Hell yeah.
But Dave and Aaron was it's so funny. I don't want Terry. We have enough talent and only one ball we can throw. You have no talent anywhere close to proven as Terry McLaurin.
But it's the same thing.
You know what he does? He makes Golden, and in this case, then Golden and Wicks better.
Josh DiMaggio chimes in on the private talking text line. He says the problem that drives down pick value is the $30+ million extension he wants.
Okay, so I think conditional third.
Yeah,
I think you're overselling Jaden Reed here because he's been kind of.
Oh no, 100%.
No,
I am.
Ryan.
Oh.
I'm not saying that Jaden Reed is anywhere going to be as good as Terry McLaurin one day, but it's the same thing as the Brewers with prospects. Like you have a guy who you can project to one day be really good, and if he stays on a moderate cap number, then you can get way more value out of it. Teams are always looking for like the value is the thing that they want to get the most, whether that's the Brewers or an NFL team.
But it goes back to they're not going to make this trade because either the Packers don't care about winning the Super Bowl this year, or they think that Jordan Love is going to be Aaron Rodgers and he'll just elevate everyone.
And there's that interesting stat, too, thanks to Ryan in the Daily Primer. There's 9 wide receivers that make $30 million per year, and only one of them is older than 27, which is Tyreek
Do you think
Hill.
they're actually going to have to give McLaurin that number, though?
Yes. I mean, that's what he's asking for with the Commanders. So
but the Commanders might say, we don't want it. The Packers will say, we'll give you 28. We'll give you a high guarantee number.
He's asking for about $33 million per year. He wants what DK Metcalf just got.
Yeah. So 29. And we'll give you a better guarantee.
I think the Commanders are probably offering him that right now, and he's saying no.
Right, we're trying to have a thought exercise.
I know, I'm just saying.
Jesus. What are you, my Twitter mentions?
Wants it to be real.
Why are we doing a radio show if we can't have any conversation of like, fine, $30 million. You pay Terry McLaurin $30 million. You trade a conditional third-round pick. I'm sorry, you are insane if you don't think that makes the Packers better. Now, obviously, you are absolutely insane and lost your damn mind if you think Brian Gutekunst is going to trade for it. Yeah, he's not going to do it.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to have a damn thought exercise.
I liked it, Jim.
I'm not saying I don't like it either. I think the idea of Terry McLaurin on the Packers is exciting too. But I think the idea, if we're talking about what the actual trade would look like realistically, it's going to be much lower in draft value, draft capital than you would expect.
How about this? Maybe this isn't that interesting. Ryan sent this to our group chat. He said, LaFleur said Jaden Reed dropped out of practice yesterday because of a foot issue. Blamed it on the cleats, actually. So
they're currently down.
They're
currently down 4 wide receivers in practice right now.
Oh, that's great. Jordan Love is going to be fantastic.
We really
going into
could
family
use
night.
Terry McLaurin then. We're down 4.
All right, but like back to so if it's Reed in a conditional third, which I think is fair. Like if Reed pops off, then it may be it goes down, or if McLaurin doesn't do what the Packers want, then the trade goes down. The pick goes lower or whatever. I think that's doable. Because, again, Reed is still so he's 2 years in. He's got 2 years, so you have to decide. If you're one more season before you have to decide you have to pay him. He's not young. Dobbs doesn't make sense because Dobbs is already at that point of, like, you have to kind of make that decision about paying him. Wicks is like the thing that you love as a fan, but, like, other fan base or other teams are looking like, we got our own Dontavion Wicks.
High upside potential, Jim.
Yeah, everyone's got a lot of players with high upside potential that never get there. I mean, I love that high upside potential for a guy entering his 3rd season who was a 5th-round pick who's only shown little flashes.
Exactly, but those little flashes were wow.
Right.
Jerry out on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream says, as vets go, give me Terry all day over Hardman. I mean,
yeah. But again, like, he just slots everyone down. And he gives you a known quantity. And this all goes back to, I don't think Jordan Love will be the Aaron Rodgers tier that you will win because of, but I think he's a guy you can win with. And if you believe your team, and maybe it is, the cap, we talked about it with the Brewers, if not now, then when? Goody might say, maybe in 2 more years when Love's a little bit older. But we want to see what Love can do with this team. We want to see what this team we built can do, and we want to make sure that Jordan Love isn't Aaron Rodgers and that he is a guy you need to win with and not because of, and then next year if a receiver comes up, we make that move.
Yeah.
But it's unquestionably McLaurin would make the Packers, I don't think they're truly they're only a Super Bowl contender in the idea that they're going to probably make the playoffs. But I don't think they're a true Super Bowl contender as a roster's contender.
Well, when you look at them, like Packers-Eagles, if they play that game 10 times, Packers win 1 or 2.
Yeah, I look at them as very similar to like where San Francisco is. San Francisco had horrible injuries last year, so I think they'll bounce back and be in contention for the playoffs. And I think those two teams have the same amount of chance to go to the Super Bowl. The 49ers have been there more recently than the Packers with their quarterback. They've gone further in the playoffs than the Packers with their quarterback. They had an incredibly snake-bitten year last year. Their first-round pick got shot. So, like, you want to talk about getting...
He played last year. He was fine.
Matt, he literally got shot.
I know, and he played football the same season. You know who else did? Brian Robinson from the Commanders, and he plays fine. You know what I mean?
You don't think that's an indication of maybe a snake-bitten season?
He literally got shot.
Okay.
Plus, I feel like all their
Thanks for shooting down my argument.
Plus, like, McCaffrey.
Why him? Thank you.
Did McCaffrey play at all last year?
No, he had like double.
No, he was
double
like
calf,
overseas.
like tendonitis or something.
Tendonitis. Yeah.
Didn't he go overseas to get like treatment that wasn't legal in
Germany.
the States?
He
Yeah.
got some sort of stem cells.
He did
I
to
want
Kobe.
to say.
Didn't Kobe go over there and do the same thing? This like they do like your blood. They shake your blood up. They put it back in.
I mean, you can get a facial like that at Carbon.
Can you please?
Did you know that?
Can you expand on that, please?
Okay. Okay, Carbon World Health, their new location in the Sunbury shopping center. So you can literally. I found this out. Okay. So Ashley Rodriguez. Sorry, I'm trying to think back because this was a little bit ago that she told me this. But Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon, she told me about it. That and I've seen Kim Kardashian do this. I know this is not sports talk, people. I know, but they literally draw your blood, do some spinny stuff with it, take plasma. I don't know what the hell they do, right? And then they microneedle your face, so then that's a bunch of little needles going in your face, and they put your blood back in because it makes your skin plump and beautiful. It's so it's a vampire facial. Google it.
It's a platelet thing. I think they do it with. You can do it.
Sounds terrifying.
It does. Hair regrowth is another way, but I think the athletes have done it when you have
it stimulates something.
A nasty injury, you can pull out your blood from that area or a different area. You spin it around and then you put it back in.
Back to the dark ages where bloodletting again.
No, I don't know if that's what
they putting leeches on your face.
That's a thing too. No. You can. I've seen this too. You can go to Greece and stuff and put your feet into a bowl for a pedicure, and then fish will eat
I don't think you have to go to Greece for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I've only seen on reality
you can just go
TV
tubing
shows.
down the Sugar River, tubing down the Sugar River if you want fish to.
But they eat all the nasty stuff off your toes.
I know a guy at the end of East Wash who could do that for you, Molly. Don't worry. I got a fish guy.
Oh, man. Ryan knows a fishmonger.
Ryan, I don't want you to eat nasty stuff off my feet, okay? I'm good.
I'm not saying it's me. I'm saying I know
Ryan.
a guy's got the fish.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Okay, slow down.
He's asking for a friend.
I got this friend, Molly, that will eat the nasty stuff
His
off your
name's
feet.
Brian Bowlersheim.
Mime time, Mullersheim, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Mime time.
Oh, my God.
All right, this is Jim Matt Molly, presented by Coors Light.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Jim Rutledge here. It's officially camping season, which means I will be using my big blue truck from Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. What does that mean? It means it's a customized buying experience. If you're an expert and you know what you want, they're happy to let you take the lead. And if you have a ton of questions, Aaron, Tyler, and the whole team at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb will make sure they can answer them all. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history, like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honey's. This summer, soak up the sun and savor the flavor at Buck and Honey's. Their spacious patios are the ideal spot to enjoy award-winning dishes, craft cocktails, in an unbeatable atmosphere. Perfect for a casual lunch or a night out with friends. Plus, with fresh seasonal dishes and exceptional service, they're here to make every visit special. Visit their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb. Celebrate summer the right way, on the patio with great company. I'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
When I jumped off, I had a bucket full of thoughts. When I first jumped off, I held that bucket in my hand. Ideas that would take me all around the world. I stood and watched the smoke behind a mountain curl.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues the takeover of Wilde and Tausch. We're at Camp Randall for the Upper Deck event. Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown with you. Primetime Morishine back at the Everlight Solar Studio. We are on across ESPN Wisconsin, 1430 in Beaver Dam, 94.5 in Milwaukee, and obviously 100.5 in Madison. I'm Jim Rutledge, and we are asking you a lot of different questions. You can chime in on the Carbus Talking text line, 844-770-3776. This is more, and we have someone very mad on our YouTube stream about Fish Fridays. And what I can't grasp is being upset about the band Fish. Or like Grateful Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could get being upset with like fan bases. Like for a long time I was like anti Dave Matthews, and I was more of like their fans are so annoying. Like you act like they act like Dave invented music, and same with like Fish and Grateful Dead. And there's a part to that where like it is just music, guys. It's not like it doesn't need to be a full on religion and everything.
It doesn't need to be a polarizing thing.
It doesn't need to be your whole personality to love it or hate it. But at the same time, like now I just kind of gotten older, I'm like, you know what? It's good, chill vibe music. We play Fish Friday because I've never been to a traditional fish fry in Wisconsin.
That is
I don't think I've been
banana.
either.
What?
But that makes sense for me because I don't like fish. The food, not the band.
But like fried fish, I've always said this before, which has been kind of the lack of appeal for me. Like you could fry a shoe and it's probably all right. I mean, the state fair is going on in Milwaukee. They fry everything. They're like, all right, I guess I'll
Crocodile, rattlesnake, all the things.
You fry everything, and it takes. I mean,
well, you can't have like baked bluegill.
But my point is, like,
you can't.
Well, I mean, you can, but like
It's
I've
gross?
never heard of it.
It's just funny to me because like a fish
Ew.
fish fry is obviously very much a tie to religion because you like nobody goes to like a chicken tenders Friday.
Yeah,
but you can't. You have to. You can't have meat. You can only have fish on Fridays.
That was just red meat, but I don't know.
I don't know. I know when I worked at McDonald's, we sold a lot of Filet-O-Fishes on Friday. We didn't. That was the most that we sold.
That's not even real fish, is it?
But it's not
I don't
want
to know.
It's not meat. That much is for sure. So I've never been to traditional Fish Friday. My parents didn't grow up in Wisconsin. I did, but so they weren't like fish fry people. And then my brother's a big fish fan, and so Fish Fridays, a little double entendre. And maybe someday I'll get to a great fish fry in Wisconsin.
I am not holding out hope. It's been like 4 years since we've been doing this together.
I'm not dodging. People will invite and then they don't follow up.
Oh, that's a shot at you, Matt.
No, not Matt.
You know what?
I don't think Matt has invited.
I got some fresh fish from my cabin trip this last week. Caught a lot of bluegill. I'll fry some bluegill. I'll do like traditional fish fry. I'll have like your your little like veggie platter to start. We'll make like a classic
it's a relish
salad.
Well, then we could do your favorite
there you
thing,
go.
Matt,
Thank you.
is that you believe that you make things better than every other restaurant. That's still not the fish fry experience, but I guarantee it'd be an amazing fish fry, and I'd love the opportunity to have it.
It's the smell for me. I hate when you walk in a restaurant and it just like smells like fish. Gross. I'm out.
I feel like when you walk into a fish fry, it smells like fried stuff.
Fryers, yeah.
Which is a worse smell.
Oh my gosh, I used to run the fryers on Fridays at the local restaurant that I worked at, McFarland.
Yeah.
It's gone now, so I can say it. It was the Beach House restaurant.
Okay.
I felt like I was so gross.
Yeah, no.
After that, I was like covered in like aerosol grease.
When I lived in Cedarburg, I worked at McDonald's there for a few years. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like I'd say burn the clothes, but you'd probably burn down your house.
Exactly. It's definitely a hazard.
But yeah, I worked in restaurants and bars for most of my life, and you just have that grease around you. Even in the nicest restaurants I worked in, there's still stuff getting fried that over time that grease can settle in. So go enjoy a restaurant tonight. Get some
enjoy that fish fry.
Fish Friday.
Yes.
Listen to some fish while you're enjoying your fish.
But yeah, I just couldn't imagine being that worked up over the band Fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is kind of a weird thing.
Yeah. A band in general. But
there's a lot of people that get really worked up about Taylor Swift, too. I was like, it's just music, and you're just mad because she's popular and she gets put on the television during a football game every once in a while.
Right. Yeah, there's lots of
layers.
Yes. That's in honor of Matthew Golden, who I still think is going to change his number.
He is not. He's
not.
22, baby.
Stuck.
We'll see. I'm playing the long game.
Yeah.
So it could be next year.
That's not.
No, I'm just pulling the Molly Brown. I'm just going to move the goalpost.
When did I move the goalpost?
You put me in a box earlier where you're like.
That's your own box that you made.
I didn't make it.
That's what it's going to be.
No, Molly, that
okay,
is
I assembled
a
the
crazy
box
take.
and I put Jim in it. But, it's fine.
Yeah, now I'm putting you in the box. All right, so Chris Canty on Unsportsmanlike today had some pretty, I believe, complimentary things to say about Matt LaFleur. Now, ESPN came out with an article that ranked the Packers 10th best coaching staff in the NFL. I think the Lions were 11th. Minnesota was number 1. I don't know where the Bears fell. I would imagine pretty low because it's a very unproven staff, at least with Ben Johnson. The rest of the staff has a lot of what I do like about that staff is that most of the guys are in jobs that are below what they normally do. Like Eric Bieniemy's often been an OC. He's their running backs coach. Like those sorts of things is usually an indication that you have a good staff. But the Packers at 10, Lions at 11, Vikings at 1. None of that's super surprising to me, but let's hear Canty on Unsportsmanlike this morning.
This is somebody that the organization was on the fence on before last season on whether or not they were going to fire his ass. So I'm not going to sit here and crown Nick Sirianni because they went on a magic carpet ride run. I'm not going to do it. Listen, everybody wanted to line up and crown Doug Peterson. They ran his ass out of town a few years after he won the chip. And that was the Eagles' first Super Bowl title. So I'm not going to crown him. Conversely, what Matt LaFleur has done, what I've seen in Green Bay, transitioning from a legendary quarterback in Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love and keeping that succession of 30-plus years of outstanding quarterback play going in Green Bay is impressive. He would have been in the playoffs every single year had Aaron Rodgers not lost a Week 18 winning-in game against the Detroit Lions, who had nothing to play for that season. So, yeah, I got a bank full of respect for Matt LaFleur in terms of his program building. A ton of it.
So I want to add this part of it. Outstanding is insane to say that Jordan Love outstanding quarterback play. Like, that is nobody's saying outstanding, right? Nobody would call Jordan Love's quarterback play outstanding, right?
I think it was more referring to the 30 years prior to Jordan Love.
But he said continuing.
Continuing.
So just pointing that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just catching that part. He talked about they would have been in there if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers. Well, if you're going to play that game, then they wouldn't have been in there 4 or 5 years ago because they've gotten the exact same dead last playoff spot that didn't exist a few years ago. Now, I don't think that's fair to do, but if you're going to then go retroactively blame Aaron Rodgers for a missed playoff one, then I'm sorry, like the Packers.
No, that's totally different. Packers get in. The situation was different for the playoffs. That with Aaron Rodgers was a win and in. That was under your own control, and he didn't make it happen.
But you had Aaron Rodgers, and you had to get to that game. But here's my other point. Here's the other facts. The Packers have finished third every year without Aaron Rodgers, correct? They've gotten their ass kicked by the Lions every damn year. The Lions own their ass, and they have been the last playoff team in the playoffs the 2 years with Jordan Love. So It's good, but this is not sustained success. They have leveled down since Aaron Rodgers has left. They went from NFC Championship games with Aaron Rodgers, so that's not sustaining success. They have leveled down. Now, if you want to tell me you believe in Matt LaFleur bringing them back up, fine, but we were looking at the facts. It is back-to-back third-place seasons for the Green Bay Packers in the division, continually getting their ass kicked by the Detroit Lions, and then also being the last team in the playoffs the last 2 years, and they are 1-2 in the playoffs. Those are also parts of the facts. So I'm not saying Matt LaFleur isn't a great coach. I'm not saying the Packers can't climb. I think number 10 is just fine because that allows them to continue to climb back up and prove it. But I also think it's fair to question. I think it's fair to point out that it has not been elite since Aaron Rodgers has left. It's been encouraging, but they have to take that next step. Get out of third place. Maybe start with that.
Yeah, I hear you. I do hear you.
I gave you facts.
But I will say, too, and I can't remember if that was in the clip or not, but Canty also attributed a lot of Sirianni's success that he's had with the Eagles and everything that they've done, especially last year, to their GM. So he was basically saying, hey, their success is the direct cause of their GM. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that, and then his argument for Matt LaFleur is he doesn't have that great of a, as great of a GM backing him, so their success is because of him rather than their GM.
I'm not going to ride or die Goody, but it's the same GM that they had when they were going to the NFC Championship games with Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that was part of his argument, too, and that was part of the reason why he was defending the Eagles.
I think 10 is fair. I think Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers.
I agree with that 10 is fair.
I think 10 is fair. I would not call the Green Bay Packers coaching staff top 10, or at least top in the NFC North. I think Minnesota is fair to say they have the best.
But I think it's also fair to say that if Matt LaFleur were to leave the Green Bay Packers one way or another, he's getting scooped up right away.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying he should be fired. I'm not saying that he's not a top 10 coaching staff. And I think it's fair to put him in front of the Lions, even though the Lions have beat their ass the last few years and owned the Green Bay Packers. I think that, Dan Campbell losing Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, it's fair to say, well, let's see what happens.
It's going to test how good he is, for sure.
We'll see what happens. Mike Vrabel continually until the end, he replaced LaFleur and then brought in Arthur Smith. And he hired those guys. And Arthur Smith is a good offensive coordinator with the Titans. They did well there. So, he backfilled and the Titans won. And so you can look at other coaches who have filled in and have done just fine. So you got to wait and see. But we can't just say Dan Campbell can't do it. But I'm fine with the Lions at 11 because they're lost two coordinators. Jeff Hafley looks like a good hire. And then obviously LaFleur is essentially the offensive coordinator for the team. Stanovich helps, but look, it's LaFleur. Mm-hmm. And then obviously the Vikings, what they've been able to do, they got the most out of Kirk Cousins. They got the most out of Sam Darnold. Brian Flores is arguably maybe the best defensive coordinator in all of football. And then obviously O'Connell calling plays is doing great. And he's developed, he's gotten career years out of one fringe Pro Bowl quarterback and one journeyman quarterback. He's gotten career years out of them. And they would have, and I think we all can agree with this, if Kirk Cousins doesn't get hurt against Green Bay and blow out his Achilles, the Packers don't make the playoffs this year. Now, that doesn't matter. I'm just saying that he was leading his team and just missed the playoffs despite missing his quarterback for a part of the year. Now, the Packers, fact of the matter is, went in, but still, point being, you still had to go and, make that next step and make the playoffs. So, I look at Minnesota being number one as very fair. Because why are we saying Minnesota could be competing with Detroit at the top of the division? Because their roster is loaded. And, oh, by the way, to your point about Canty, they got a hell of a GM.
Yep.
But their roster's loaded. They got an amazing coaching staff.
Yep.
And I think they deserve the benefit of the doubt to be number one. I think the Packers are fine at 10. Could the Packers finish top 5 as far as coaching staff? Sure. But I think where they're rated right now is properly rated.
Does it surprise you guys that they actually dropped in this year's list, too? They were 8 in 2023.
2 spots, no.
It's interesting in the sense that I feel like everybody is a fan of Hafley after seeing what he did with the defense, so I don't know how much weight that pulls.
But again, that's here, and I think everyone.
But also, then I feel like there's I guess it's like a teeter-totter to me is how I'm kind of envisioning it. Sorry, I'm pulling
I think a 2-spot move is not major.
I don't think it's.
So it does not
major.
shock me.
It just means that other teams also acquired stuff. The Packers.
Who's number 8 this year?
Number 8 this year is the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Sirianni and co.
Which is
number
fine.
9.
I'm sorry. You won the Super Bowl. You get the victors get the spoils.
Number 9 is a team that ranked 32nd in head coaching rankings last year, or coaching rankings. That was the Las Vegas
Jeez.
Raiders. They moved up to 9 this year.
I guess they got Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, and Patrick Graham are their coordinators.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You got Buffalo in front of him,
Has
Denver in
Chip
front
Kelly
of him.
had a lot of success in the NFL as a coordinator? Like, obviously, he didn't have very good success in
Was he
Philly as a head coach.
Was it him with LSU, or was that his brother?
He was at Ohio State.
That's Brian Kelly. They're not
Brian
related.
Kelly. Okay. Oh, they're not related?
Nope.
I swear to God, I thought that they were related
Chip
this whole
Kelly
time.
was Oregon before
No,
he got
Ohio
Ohio
State,
State
he
OC
said.
last
Yeah,
year.
I forgot he was with Ohio State.
But he was the Oregon head coach before becoming the Eagles head
Yeah,
coach.
so, like, why is he getting –
Because I think Philly. I think
or is Pete Carroll the one swinging all the weight?
He's swinging all the weight, but also Chip Kelly's offenses were not the problem. It was the whole team was a disaster. Like,
Yeah.
he brought a lot of
He
things.
got his guy, Mariota.
Mariota played with Tennessee.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Who's the other quarterback I'm thinking of from Oregon that went to –
Regardless, Chip Kelly is credited for
Are
innovating.
you thinking
some
of the
things
one
in
that's on the
NFL.
Browns right now? Or are you thinking of Bo Nix?
No.
Who are you thinking?
Long time ago.
Oh.
You were just a wee tot.
I know who Matt's thinking about. I don't know his name either off the top of my head, but I don't think he ever started games in the NFL. Or if he did, he was not a full season starter. Anyways,
enough.
we just got
Yeah.
real deep down the Chip Kelly rabbit hole right there.
I'm just shocked that Chip Kelly
how
and
did
Brian
they jump
Kelly
so
are-
much? So much. It's
All right, here's
my
what I
problem.
said. I also have a huge amount of faith in Kelly from ESPN here. Offensive coordinator role suits him better than head coaching jobs. He was offensive coordinator for the Eagles and the 49ers that overwhelmed him in the mid. Oh, I'm sorry, he was head coaching job Eagles 49ers that overwhelmed him in the mid 2010s, and he won't have control over personnel. His offenses the past few years at UCLA and Ohio State have become far more orientated on heavier personnel and diverse running game, the sort of stuff that is cooking in the league right now. So basically, Chip Kelly's problem when he was a head coach was being a head coach and having personnel say not the offenses. And then he's been elite offensively everywhere else. And
Okay.
so I think they believe Chip Kelly, he's not the first coach. I mean, Dom Capers is one of those guys, long-term defensive coordinator for the Packers, who is a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator, was never a good head coach. There's
Right.
plenty of guys who just were not.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of them.
Yeah, and I think that's where Chip Kelly
the Eberflus. Wasn't he pretty good as a coordinator for the
No. He was like that was the frustrating part for Bears. He was like the 13th. They had like the 13th best defense. I don't know. I don't know. But that was.
Is he back on the Chiefs?
No, Eberflus never
Who's
left the Chiefs.
who's the guy I'm thinking of on the
Matt
Chiefs?
Nagy.
Matt Nagy went back to
Goodness
the,
gracious.
What are we doing right now?
I'm trying to think of names, and I'm totally failing.
No,
Can we just go to break? My
No,
God.
Norv Turner was a classic guy like that. There was classic coaches long term that were great coordinators that were not good head coaches, and the league is full of them. We don't know Dennis Allen, Chicago. He's failed twice as a head coach. He got those jobs because he's been great defensive coordinator. He's likely going to be defensive coordinator the rest of his career. Vic Fangio with Philadelphia. He failed as a defensive coordinator. He failed as a head coach. Hell of a defensive coordinator. And so the league is full of these guys who can be good coordinators. Josh McDaniel, they're just not head coaches. They're not the leader of the men's. That's what, like when LaFleur was hired, it was, can he be the head coach, or is he just going to be a play caller? And LaFleur has proven he's a great head coach.
Yep.
And now he also can call plays. This is Jim Matt Mibes in the Coors Light.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and even with Jim, Matt, and Molly taking over today's show, it's still Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. Stick around to hear the crew share some of their favorite feel-good stories of the week coming up to close out today's show. Well, I am not spending my time off painting my house because our family trusted Holman Lindsay's great team of pro painters. They're super easy to get in touch with, and they do a tremendous job. All you have to do, stop into any Madison area Holman Lindsay location and ask for a member of the team. They'll help you get in touch with the best pro for your job. From hot summer days to brisk winter nights, Holman Lindsay is the one paint that can withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. And that's why we can say Holman Lindsay truly is Wisconsin's best paint. Holman Lindsay, great paint, great people. Check them out at holmanlindsay.com. And stick around for Feel Good Friday with Jim, Matt, and Molly coming up to close out today's show, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
This update is sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Play Brewers Baseball Bingo presented by U.S. Cellular for the chance to win prizes all season long. Download the MLB Ballpark app from the App Store or Google Play to get in on the action. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lots up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Fly ball to center. It is way back, and it is gone.
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Bruner Realty and ESPN Madison have teamed up again for the 5th annual Putts for Pups golf outing benefiting the Dane County Humane Society. Join us for a day of golf at Blackhawk Country Club on September 19th. Since it started in 2021, Putts for Pups has raised over $120,000 for the Dane County Humane Society. Donate or find out how you can get involved at putsforpups.com. Putts for Pups is proudly sponsored by Badgerland Exteriors, Alts Operations, Zimbrick Automotive, and Vortex Optics.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Washington Nationals.
Fly ball, deep right, bye-bye baseball. Salvatore, a solo shot to right.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Jim, Matt, and Molly Takeover of Wilde and Tausch continues across ESPN Wisconsin. Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown. We are at Camp Randall for the Upper Deck event. We have a lot of different poll questions we got going on. We will keep this segment short. We are in classic Wilde and Tausch fashion. We are off on the clock. We got Wilde and Tausch trivia coming up next. I will not take part of that. Matt knows my thoughts on trivia.
He loves it.
Yeah, so
much
Matt,
that he can't be a part of it.
Matt and Molly,
I'm in on it.
I get too excited. Matt and Molly will handle that. Some news here from Rob Domofsky. A couple of early did not practices or DNPs for the Packers today. Rasheed Walker of note, Aaron Mosby. And then here's the full list of new DNPs today. Nate Hobbs out with a knee. Jaden Reed out with toe. Aaron Mosby out with a groin. Rasheed Walker, groin. Devontae Wicks, calf.
Dontavian.
Dontavian Wicks, calf. Which one of those injuries would you want, Matt?
The toe injury.
The toe.
Because I love feet.
You could go to other countries and have fish suck it off then. Your toe.
The toe, yeah. See, I'm just sad for Jane Reed. He's a good little foot soldier.
What'd you say?
It was a throwback to, I think, was it Wes Welker that was making fun of Rex Ryan because he had a foot thing? He kept
Rex
making,
Ryan
like,
has
foot jokes on
Yes.
the podium. Classic.
Molly,
So
fun
Rex
fact.
Ryan.
What, Ryan? What is your fun fact about toes right now?
No,
Tell
it's
us.
not about toes. It's about Rex Ryan is related to Rob Ryan.
Okay.
Chip Kelly and Brian Kelly.
Wait, I actually no. Yes, I knew that. Okay, I swear to God, I thought that
Their
Chip.
dad is Buddy Ryan.
Correct.
Okay.
Buddy Ryan was the
When I
first
think
coach.
of Buddy, I think of Buddy the Elf.
Okay,
I know.
Buddy Ryan was the Bears defensive coordinator for Super Bowl 85 and the head coach in the NFL.
Also, can we just talk about how rude Ryan and Matt are to me the last 2 days? Like, you guys legitimately treat me like I'm an idiot.
What did yesterday? What do you mean? Do you even know what?
Molly, do you know what infamous means? Did you look it up in the dictionary?
Well, your reaction to it was not what I would expect. Was someone was like, "Yeah, you're infamous." You're like, oh, "Thank you." Flipped your hair behind your shoulder.
I mean, I'll take any compliments I can get.
Yeah, if it's a compliment.
It had the word famous in it.
Exactly.
It does. It does.
All right, before we get to trivia or getting a callers, I don't even know what we do for trivia here, to be honest. But are you confident? Our Citing Limited poll question here is: are you confident the Brewers will make the World Series after yesterday's MLB trade deadline? 82% of you say no.
Yeah, I voted no.
All right, Ryan, what do we do here?
So here for Wilde and Tausch Trivia is where we get one caller to participate in Wilde and Tausch Trivia. They'll join us on the air, and then they will answer the questions as read by Molly and Matt, since Jim doesn't want to participate today. So we got to get a caller.
All right, so give me a number.
Let's go caller number 10. Packers ranked the 10th best coaching staff, according to Ben Solak of the ESPN.com.
Caller number 10 will play Wilde and Tausch Trivia, brought to you by Vortex Golf. 844-770-3776. Caller number 10 will play Wilde and Tausch Trivia. 844-770-3776. This is the Jim, Matt, and Molly Takeover of Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
What's in your summer survival kit? Mark Tauscher here, and I'll tell you what should be. A cooler full of drinks, a comfy lawn chair, and for just $12.99, a large Hut Lovers pizza from Pizza Hut. For a limited time, choose from 4 loaded legends: meat lovers, pepperoni lovers, veggie lovers, and the spicy Hawaiian for just $12.99. Hot, melty, and made to crush hunger. A perfect summer go-to order. Order up before it's gone on the Pizza Hut app. And remember, nobody out-pizzas the Hut. Additional charge for extra toppings, pan, stuffed crust, and extra cheese.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Sleep better with Tempur-Pedic at Steinhoffels. Queen hybrids from $52 per month plus $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Shop now in-store or online.
In for Pablo Iglesias, I'm Jesse Nelson. Morale has been down for Wisconsin football fans since the end of last season, but appearing on ESPN Madison's Jim, Matt, and Molly, former Badgers running back Melvin Gordon has a message for fans getting ready to come to games at Camp Randall this season.
Just have faith. You not having any faith is not doing anything for our football team. Come in early. Be loud. Find ways to help give us that advantage when people come into Camp Randall. The fans make the difference. They do.
Find the full interview with Melvin Gordon available on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Ever thought about hitting a golf ball in Camp Randall Stadium? Well, now is your chance. On August 1st and 2nd, you can enjoy a VIP experience while hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium down to custom greens on the field below. Start and end your round with great music, cold beers, food, and numerous golf challenges. Event is open to all ages, but hurry because tee times will go fast. Go to upperdeckgolf.com to book a tee time today. That's upperdeckgolf.com.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
This is our crew.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every strike, every hit.
Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Left center. Bye-bye baseball.
Hear the call of every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Mizorowski deals. Struck him out. A heater at 101.
You're listening to Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. 100.5 ESPN.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
We're on the Badgers.
The schedule, as we all know, it's very challenging, daunting, however you want to describe it.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
He wants guys who want to jump at the opportunity to play against a schedule like that.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It is the Jim, Matt, and Molly Takeover on Wilde and Tausch. I saw Jim adjusting his headphones there because I sound just like him, bringing it back in. I'm Molly Brown alongside Matt Hamilton. Jim Rutledge is here, but he will not be participating in trivia because he doesn't like to have fun.
I do like to have fun. That's why I'm not participating.
Okay, gotcha. Our contestant today for Wilde and Tausch trivia is Pat from
McFarland.
Pat, are you a first-time contestant?
I am.
Oh, welcome. Jason's going to be so bummed that he missed it. Ryan didn't ask you. So,
hey, we can't all be perfect, Molly, all right? And speaking of which, I got to play one thing before we get into trivia.
What do you got to play?
Never mind. Jesse broke that button. It doesn't work anymore. We'll get that figured out later. So
you can always count on Jesse Nelson.
Let's take it away.
Alrighty. Matt, you got the first question.
Yep. So, Pat, first question. Football is back. The NFL preseason kicked off with the Hall of Fame game last night. Which of these 3 teams did not play in last night's game? A, the Chargers, B, the Lions, or C, the Colts?
C, the Colts.
Nailed it.
Ryan, did you make these questions or did Jesse write these?
You think Jesse Nelson's going to do extra work on his day off? Come on.
These look like Ryan questions.
Yeah, they're not very good questions, I'll be honest.
All right.
This next one's tough.
All right. Question number 2, Pat. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has been located in Canton, Ohio for over 60 years. First built in 1962, the current structure is located on a street named after which one of these founding members of the National Football League? A, Curly Lambeau, B, George Halas, or C, Jim Thorpe?
I'm going to go C, Jim Thorpe.
50-50 crack. You want to go for it? George Halas or Curly Lambeau?
I'm going to go B.
Yeah, there you go.
Halas is correct.
George Halas was
All
correct.
right, all right.
You don't get credit for that one, but good second guess.
The third and final and my favorite question. Which member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2025, an avid curler, appeared on Jim, Matt, and Molly back in February, less than 1 week after he was announced as one of the members of this year's class? Was it A, Sterling Sharp, B, Antonio Gates, or C, Jared Allen?
I'm going to go A.
You'd think.
We can tell you don't listen to our show.
You want to
It's fine.
try Antonio Gates or Jared Allen?
I'll try Jared Allen.
That would be correct, Pat.
That's correct. Jared Allen, friend of show, personal friend of mine, and also avid curler, and he did beat me the last time we curled against each other.
Sick brag, bro. Pat, you get 2 entries into this week's trivia drawing for that Vortex. I don't know if it's a swag bag or a rangefinder. Ryan, maybe you have more insight.
Swag bag.
Okay, swag bag. So you have 2 entries in. I believe that Wilde and Tausch and Jesse will be picking that on Monday when they return.
So thanks for playing.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, and good luck in your next go-around when you get back on for Wilde and Tausch Trivia.
You got it. Thank you.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We got more coming up next.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports and Update brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The chaos of yesterday's MLB trade deadline is finally settled. The Brewers making some late-breaking additions. Shortly after the 5 p.m. deadline closed, it was announced that the Milwaukee Brewers added to its bullpen by trading for Diamondbacks pitchers Shelby Miller and Jordan Montgomery. Milwaukee's acquiring those 2 in exchange for cash considerations and a player to be named later. Montgomery underwent Tommy John surgery in April and won't be pitching for the Brewers before becoming a free agent this offseason. And that trade was announced shortly after the Brewers dealt Nestor Cortez to the Padres, along with a minor league shortstop and cash for outfielder Brandon Lockridge. Milwaukee Brewers injury news. Well, GM Matt Arnold announcing last night that Jackson Chourio is likely headed for a stint on the IL after hurting his hamstring during Tuesday's win over the Cubbies. Read more on the Brewers trade and Jackson Chourio's injury over at ESPN.com. The Brewers are back at it today as they take on the Nationals out in Washington, D.C. First pitch is scheduled for 5:45 p.m., so pregame coverage starts shortly after 5 right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Jim, Matt, and Molly takeover of Wilde and Tausch continues. It is hour number 3 of the takeover. We're here at Camp Randall. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Get into the show. 844-770-3776. The Carbos talking text line. This is more. Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown with you. We are at Camp Randall for the Upper Deck event. We're having a great time. Primetime Wollersheim is back in the Everlight Solar Studio. And we have been talking a lot of Packers and Brewers today. We have Jason Wilde coming up next. And then we also, we have Molly's game coming up next. We're going to pick some games against Pado's spread. We also have Wilde. We also have Feel Good Friday. So I want to circle back to our original Siding Unlimited poll question to start the day. And that is, are you confident the Brewers will make the World Series after yesterday's MLB trade deadline? You can chime in on that 844-770-3776 on the Carbos Talking text line. List is more. Right now, 82% of you say no. And I want to get to 2 pieces of audio from different teammates. One with Gabe Neitzel, who was on, obviously, his show, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, yesterday, talking about the Brewers not getting who? Molly?
Eugenio
Suarez.
Matt.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
Checked out.
Well, I knew you would do
He had more interesting things.
Was it interesting?
No, it
You
wasn't.
share
It was
with the
like
class?
no, I'm not sharing with the class. It was like the least interesting thing I've read in an email in a long time.
Was it from Jesse Nelson?
Why are you reading emails? Was it a snack question?
It was a work email.
Well,
it was to my work email.
Well, now I'm even more offended. So basically, you just checked out.
I heard you talking about Molly's game and Feel Good Friday, and I was like, I got a second before they bring me in.
To read a work email that you never read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no. I've been trying to be better about reading my work emails because I was notoriously bad at
But
it.
can I also just give this a little bit of advice, Molly? So it's funny. One, Matt thinks these emails are his personally, because the other day we were in the car, we're driving to Green Bay, and it's like, I just got this email about an intern part-time leaving. I'm like, Matt, everyone got that. I didn't say it, but I'm like, we all got that email. It wasn't
I didn't quite think it was only to me.
But the way you phrased it. And then
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're
Matt,
right.
we want you to know that this part-timer that you've probably never met is leaving.
But
we
also,
just wanted you to know specifically.
But he also needs to go to was it detox? Matt, you have to prioritize. Most 98% of those emails aren't for you. 97% of the emails I get aren't for me. I just delete them. You just need to. We only get mad because you don't read the ones you're supposed to read. And I think
that's because I get they're flooding the zone on me.
Maybe we just need to block out anything. Basically, we need to put a filter, Molly, on Matt's email that if it doesn't come from me, you, Ryan, or Ashton, that's it.
It's
not that important.
It's not
Exactly.
relevant to you.
Honestly, I would love that. All right.
I'll work on it. I'll
Thank
put
you.
my other hat on in my other job, and I'll figure that out for you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, less is more for Matt
Expectations are low.
Yes.
I see. That's the thing. Low is still a little too high. There's no expectations. What
Bottom
I'm
of the
shooting for.
barrel.
Yeah.
The
That felt
bar
mean.
is the floor.
I'll take that.
Whose floor is higher, Matt Hamilton or Jordan Love?
Jordan Love's floor is much higher.
Matt Hamilton or Jesse Nelson, though.
Oh God, let's not start.
I just want to get this out of the way because this is getting insane. Strofe is a clown guy. We did it to start the show at 9:15. We said Strofe was a clown. So stop chiming in. Thank you.
Why did we say Strofe was a clown?
I don't. This guy texting every day apparently.
Huh?
I don't know.
Constantly?
No
I guess.
idea. Irrelevant.
I guess.
I mean, no one here fully disagrees with you.
Yeah.
So we get it. We're with you.
He used to produce our show. Trust
Yeah.
me, we know he's a clown.
Yeah.
Back in the Rutledge and Hamilton days. This isn't news to us.
But
what was
thanks
his
for
nickname?
listening.
What was his nickname?
Boo Boo Kitty.
Boo Boo
Boo Boo
Kitty.
Kitty.
Yeah.
I only know that off the top of my head because it
Savage.
was literally in one of the chats that I'm in with him right now. It was right there from March when we were talking about this last.
So yes. So yeah, we know Boo Boo Kitty is a clown.
What? What are you looking at me like that for?
I love that Molly remembered someone else's embarrassing nickname because the only one that was coming to
let's not.
mind was Molly's.
Well, now
No, we don't need to. We don't need
no,
to.
because
We're done.
this actually came up when I was golfing because Matt decided to tell the office what was your foo-foo,
Foo-foo, yeah.
and Somali, what was yours?
Maladina muffin pie.
Can I tell you?
Ben Bruss loves to bring it up because
And-
for some it was literally brought up in Scouts and Bruss 6 years ago, and I can't remember. I can't believe he remembers it.
So I will not share because I don't feel comfortable on the air sharing the mistaken nickname someone thought you had. It was the first part was right, the Maladina, but they had the wrong punchline for the instead of muffin pie.
Who did?
One of our teammates. They guessed the wrong one. They guessed the wrong punch.
Oh God, what was theirs?
Not radio.
Okay, I don't want to know.
Yeah, but
Guys, my dad called me this.
That's what I said. It's like her father
I think
gave
he
it.
still calls me this.
It's not that.
Gross. I'm out.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why I said.
You're making it worse.
Just stick with Maladina muffin pie.
And then notoriously, I told my parents that in kindergarten to stop calling me Jimmy. I'm Jim. So
and I
Mom,
still
Dad,
call you
Jim.
Jimmy.
Yeah. Now I'm fine with it. But
Okay.
When you're a kid, you're like, I got to be a grown up.
I'm Jim, not Jimmy.
I can imagine. I want my quarterback to be an MVP.
Well, I think I've shared this before.
Why I oughta.
What the? I was like a sports version of Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
I've also shared the story before of my mom would do the same thing when she'd pick up me and my friends. She'd ask the exact same question, the exact same cadence and all that. So I started telling my friends that she would do that. And when we got in the car, she asked the question, and they all laughed. And then we told her why, and then she never asked it again. So I was not a nice kid. It wasn't on purpose. I just was trying.
I wish I could tell you outgrew it.
Yeah. I wish I didn't have. I try to be better about not having fun at people. at other people's expense. Now Strofe says Jimmy is a clown. Okay.
Hey, just mixing it up. Keeping it
thank
fresh.
you.
I like it. And I'm sorry. He's out in the truck all day, so go ahead and do your work. We're proud of all the work you put in. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Strofe is a clown guy. But I want to get to some audio quickly, one from Gabe Neitzel, and I think it does encapsulate the frustration Brewer fans should have with their team. You know, I thought I gave Brian plenty of time.
Yeah.
There was a lot of filibuster.
And we're going to play it right now.
I was also going to say this audio is about the Brewers not getting A.U. Henio Suarez, the news coming out late last night. So here was what Gabe Neitzel had to react when he realized that the Brewers got beat out or didn't even really try to get A.U. Henio Suarez.
It's a gut punch. It's a gut punch because it wasn't that much. They gave up Tyler Locklear. Not that you know any of these names. He was the Mariners' number 9 prospect. They gave up a right-handed pitcher who was a number 16 prospect and a right-handed pitcher who was their number 17 prospect. They gave up 3 prospects here. The pitching prospects worse than the ones they gave up to get Josh Naylor. I thought that Logan Henderson would potentially be like the center of a package. You could have given up Logan Henderson, who's a top 100 guy, and probably been done with it compared to what the Mariners actually ended up giving up. So that's the tough part for me, is just kind of a gut punch of, they didn't really overpay. Kind of feels like an underpay.
And I think that's the important part,
Yeah.
that the Brewers, it wouldn't have been for a song as they got Andrew Vaughn for, but they could have gotten Suarez on a value. And if you're getting a guy like Suarez who provides the biggest thing you need, and nothing is guaranteed, and all you had to do is give up one top 100 prospect, and that top 100 prospect is in a position of value. You know, like
And a position of power for the Brewers.
That's what I mean, position of depth.
Yeah.
For the Brewers, then it's like, go ahead and do it. And we also had David Kaplan on earlier before the trade deadline talking about both the Cubs and the Brewers. Neither team, this is before he knew neither team was going to do anything of significance at the deadline, talked about being World Series contenders, and if not now, then when?
Okay, but here's what I'd say to you. That Brewers team's good enough to win a World Series. They are. When you could throw Mizorowski and Freddie Peralta and Jose Quintana, you can. I'm not saying they will, they can. The Chicago Cubs also are good enough when you can roll out there Kyle Tucker and Pete Armstrong and Michael Busch and all of these dudes, Nico Horner. They have enough to do it if they go out and address their bullpen and maybe a high-end starter in their rotation. They can. If Mark Atanasio, who I've never met in my life, doesn't look at this team and go, if not now, when, and push the chips in, then he does not care about winning. That's just a fact.
And I don't disagree. Now, after Cap joined, the Cubs did essentially bupkis as well. They addressed some needs in the margins, just like I guess you say the Brewers did. They did not, the Brewers needed the bat. They didn't address that need. The Cubs needed pitching. The Cubs didn't address that need. So neither one of these teams seem, quote unquote, serious about winning a World Series. It's not impossible. They are both competing to be the best team in the National League right now. But when it gets down to the playoffs, usually the teams with the biggest payroll and the best players end up winning, and the Cubs and the Brewers did not add to their coffers to give themselves a bigger cushion or give themselves a better chance. Maybe it'll work out, but maybe it will work out is not necessarily how fans want your team to operate. Either one of those teams.
Hope's not a strategy, right?
Hope is not a strategy.
So I do have a question about Mark Atanasio.
Okay.
Earlier this year, before the season started, someone asked what the goal was for the season or something along those lines. Yeah. I might be taking it a little bit out of context, but he was like, a fun family experience all summer in Milwaukee is what the Brewers are providing or trying to provide.
Here's what I have here. A summer of entertainment.
So has there ever been a clip of Mark saying the goal is to win a World Series?
Well,
because I'm just thinking about, if not, which
I'm going to stop. Well, okay, so yesterday he said to reporters, quote, "We want to try to win a championship and also maintain a strong team here in Milwaukee for a very long time." So that's probably the closest that you're going to get. That was Matt Arnold. Sorry, that wasn't Atanasio. Now they say that.
So when I think about the owner, who is the one who has to sign the checks and willing to give Matt Arnold a larger allowance so he can go out and get more players, I don't remember him ever explicitly saying, I want to win a championship. I think that's just a given that all fans kind of put on owners and ownership of teams. Obviously, we got the Packers saying it all the time. Like, that's their goal. They talk about title town like that's something that is –
well,
I feel like it's always implied. He never says it. I think his real goal, legitimately, is to have a summer of fun and entertainment.
I think they're fine just being relevant in the same way that the Packers are sometimes, too, where it's like,
well,
we're good. We're getting to the playoffs. It's fine.
To the Packers' credit, because of their ownership structure, which I do think has some faults that could rear its ugly head as private equity comes into the NFL and the Packers won't be a part of it, but there isn't necessarily the money-driven side of things. Like, obviously, there's a board and they get maybe bonuses, things like that, but still, in general, it's not as money-driven. It is truly just a philosophy-based thing of, like, we'd rather have a million bites at the apple every year than take one big bite and screw it up. The Brewers sure the hell seem more of, and that's not just them. Again, the Cubs are doing this. The Cubs done the same thing. Operational cash flow. If you're a fan, your eyes roll over in your head. Talking about gate revenue, talking about the economics of baseball. Here's the other thing: we're probably headed towards a lockout or stoppage too. So, are these teams trying to make sure they don't have too much money on the books? Are they trying to? They won't have revenue coming in. The players won't either. But like, there's all these different things that some of these owners. Who I believe, if you are worried about operating in the black, you shouldn't be owning a professional sports team. Professional sports should be a equity play. That the Mark Antanasio bought the Milwaukee Brewers, and I believe they're worth well over $1 billion more than what he paid for them. That's the money you make out of something. It's like buying a house.
Mm-hmm.
You're buying a house. You shouldn't buy anyone that does remodeling tells you don't buy a house to flip it. You don't do a remodel to flip it because you're going to lose money on it. A house is a long-term investment, and the money you make out of a house is in the very end of it, at the very long-term, 10, 15 years. That's why mortgages are 15 to 30 years. It's a long-term investment. Owning the baseball team, owning a professional team should be a long-term investment. I'm not worried about year to year. I don't worry about my taxes or what I'm paying year to year. I worry about what do I owe on the house and what is it worth now. That's the equity I have in that house.
Mark's not going paycheck to paycheck, you're saying?
Yeah, but Mark...
But he's kind of making it seem like
he's acting like that's how he wants to operate this team.
Right.
He's got a monthly budget, and that better be in the black every single month, and ignoring the fact, conveniently, that on the other side of it, the equity in this team is growing at an exponential rate.
For what it's worth, Atanasio bought the Brewers in 2005 for $223 million, and according to Forbes, as of April 2025, they're worth $1.2 billion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, $1 billion more.
It's insane.
And the Cubs, I don't give them a pass either. They talk about, well, we got operational costs. They don't own the team. Like, don't own a team if you are sweating the operational cost.
If you're going to cut corners.
Yeah, no fan wants to root for a team where their owner is talking about the budget.
That's true.
And that will frustrate. I'll call my own teams out for it. I hate when the Cubs talk about it. Thankfully, I don't hear the Bears talk about it. I would hate any team talking about it.
I want to talk to Mark and tell him, you know how much operational costs you will make in money if you get to a World Series?
Right.
You know how great that would be for your bottom line this month?
Because look, we all saw The Last Dance.
Yep.
With Jordan, that was a lot about money.
Yeah.
We could pay these guys all this money. We could pay other people less and maybe win close enough. It didn't work out, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So Bulls are another, and the White Sox, the same owner. But, there's plenty of teams to do this. This isn't just the Brewers. There's teams just down in Chicago. It's disgusting no matter any team is doing it. I do not ever want to hear a team I root for talk to me at all about turning a profit. Don't own a team then, because you are making money every damn year with the valuation of that team.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it, sell it like the Lakers did. Sell it like Mark Cuban did.
Yeah.
And take your cash and go steal some more sand. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by
Allegedly.
Coors Light.
Allegedly.
This is the Jim, Matt, and Molly takeover of Wilde and Tausch.
You can take the boy out of North Carolina, but you can't take the North Carolina out of the boy. I like me some Bulldogs up here on the Packers.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Mark Toscher here, inviting you to Throwback Thursday at the Pizza Hut in Platteville on Thursday, August 7th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Enjoy special throwback prices on pizza, wings, fountain drinks, and more. I'll be at Pizza Hut in Platteville from noon to 2 after Wisconsin's practice, and I've invited some special guests to hang out as well. And when you stop by, enter to win a signed jersey or pizza for a year. Throwback Thursday at Pizza Hut, Thursday, August 7th, exclusively at Pizza Hut in Platteville.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going, lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Summer is here, and your taste buds deserve the best. Carbless is perfect for the pool, the lake, or hanging out by the fire. Full of flavor with 0 sugars, only 100 calories, and made with premium spirits. Don't just settle for something overly carbonated and those flavorless seltzers. Carbless has full flavor with every sip, not just a hint. So when you're ready to take a drink and ready to chill, Carbless is clean, crisp, and won't leave you feeling bloated. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Motul Sports Car Grand Prix featuring IMSA is up next on July 30th through the 1st of August. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Get ready to unleash the dragon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Introducing the region's very first $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Feel the thrill, chase the excitement, and win big. With jackpot soaring to $1 million, your chance to hit it big is here. Come experience the ultimate gaming adventure. Visit Hard Rock Casino Rockford today and play the $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Your legendary win awaits. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from Camp Randall. It's a takeover of Wilde and Tausch. Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown, Matt Hamilton with you. Primetime Orshon behind the glass. Michael in Oregon chimes in. He's got a question for Wilde. Obviously, Wilde's not on right now, but he joins us next segment, Michael. So I will ask him on the air your question about where he would recommend for a family-friendly restaurant in Green Bay. I guarantee there's a million chain restaurants to pick from.
Chili's. Does Chili's still exist?
The chain restaurant capital of the world, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
That was a nice question.
It
now
is a
you're
nice
just
question.
throwing shots.
At Green Bay.
Yeah, not at Michael.
Just catching strays.
There's better
Green Bay
places
is
to eat in Oregon,
utterly
Wisconsin than there is at Green Bay.
preposterous
All right.
that I've even heard
Time
of
now
it.
for Molly's game.
Hi. I am looking for Molly. I've been searching everywhere and I can't seem to find Molly. Molly.
This is Molly's Game, hosted by America's favorite bookie, Molly Brown.
All right, so basically how this segment goes, we do this each week on a Friday. Heading into the weekend, we look at some of the games around the area. Well, not in our area, but, within the sports landscape. So right now, we're only going to be doing the Brewers Nationals game. So I'm going to give you guys some props from that one. And then basically we, Jim, Matt, and Ryan all have their own picks for it. And then we determine the winner based on how they did, and then we keep a score throughout the season. And I think we're coming close to the end of our summer season. And then pretty soon here it'll be football season.
Yeah, without last week, it's
what, Ryan?
But we're doing seasons? We're just doing baseball season, football season?
Well, no. We're going to do like chapters.
Yeah.
Right?
Chapters.
Like this was
Eras?
Right now it's
What?
Jim 5, Matt
Yeah, we're
3.
gonna do eras.
Yeah,
Let's bring in T Swizzle in here.
there
We're
we
gonna
go.
do this is our summer era or post Molly's maternity leave era. Because that's what we're in, kind of, even though that was forever ago. So
That's a bit of
Warm-up
a
era
mouthful.
for football season.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, so first up, you guys, the Brewers take on the Nationals. Over under 8.5 total runs in tonight's game. By the way, these are all for tonight's game, just so you're all aware.
Okay.
Matt, since you think that you won last week, and I don't have my sheet. Usually we recap last week, but I don't have it with me. So Matt, you believe that you won last week. I don't know if that's true. You go first.
Over.
Tonight, one game tonight, under.
Yeah.
8.5.
Under.
Ryan?
Brewers are going to score 8 tonight.
I agree, Matt. I'm going over. Nationals are hot trash. They were one of the big sellers at the deadline yesterday. And they have some hitters, though, at the same time, too. So if Jose Quintana gives up a couple runs, I wouldn't mind it tonight.
All right, so let's actually move on to Jose Quintana. Over under 4.5 strikeouts for him. Ryan?
That's low, man. I don't know how many strikeouts he gave. He's obviously their fourth starter. Maybe fifth now with how good Priester's been. I will say under, especially if I'm going for the over with the runs.
Jim.
I'm going to go under. I feel like he'll pitch 6 innings, so maybe he gets 5 strikeouts, but I think 4 is probably a good number, so I'll go 4. I'm going under.
God, Matt. As Matt scrolls the box score right
Yeah,
now.
he averages 6 strikeouts per 9 innings, so I'll take the under.
Alrighty. And last one here, guys. Total runs. Will it be odd or even? Why are you laughing?
Oh, I
think these
one.
are fun because it's
No,
like
they are, but it's just...
there's no science behind it. There's
Hold
nothing.
on, I got to do some research.
Okay, Matt's gonna look up the science behind
I'm just
this.
kidding. Even, because I don't like odd numbers.
Jim?
I'll go odd because Matt's odd.
Is it because the Olympic years are all even years?
Yeah, sure, that's fun.
Okay.
Perfect. Put you on the couch and a little psychology into what your thought is on numbers.
I'm so averse to being called odd that I'd rather just pick even numbers.
Take
Yeah,
that.
but you are odd.
I thought you were
You embrace the oddness.
I thought you were proudly odd.
Me too. Odd
Yeah.
parents fail the odd.
We're going evens for me.
All
Ryan?
right. Ryan,
All right.
what say you?
Matt's even Steven. I'll go with odd as well. Just because I want to have all the same exact picks as Jim.
Well, now we got to think of a tiebreaker. How about this?
No, Jim
you gotta
took the
pick...
under. It's fine. I took the over on
Oh,
the
yeah,
runs.
You got
So
the
we're
over.
good.
You went homer on that one. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true. All right. Hey, all you sports bettors, if you aren't making your wagers at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee, you're missing out on an elite experience. Honestly, it's a complete sports betting paradise. Their state-of-the-art venue has dozens of self-serving betting kiosks, seating for over 200 people, a first-class bar and restaurant, and a VIP deck. And if that's not enough for you, there's a giant video wall that's over 2,000 square feet. In a major move for all sports bettors out there, you can now use your Potawatomi rewards card at most self-service kiosks and the betting counter. Bet on your favorite sports and earn rewards points along the way. Now that's a winning play. Bet above the rest. Learn more at paysbig.com/sportsbook. This is Jim, Matt, Molly, presented by Coors Light.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and even with Jim, Matt, and Molly taking over today's show, it's still Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. Stick around to hear the crew share some of their favorite feel-good stories of the week coming up to close out today's show. Well, I am not spending my time off painting my house because our family trusted Hallman Lindsey's great team of pro painters. They're super easy to get in touch with, and they do a tremendous job. All you have to do, stop into any Madison area Hallman Lindsey location and ask for a member of the team. They'll help you get in touch with the best pro for your job. From hot summer days to brisk winter nights, Hallman Lindsey is the one paint that can withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. And that's why we can say Hallman Lindsey truly is Wisconsin's best paint. Hallman Lindsey, great paint, great people. Check them out at hallmanlindsey.com. And stick around for Feel Good Friday with Jim, Matt, and Molly coming up to close out today's show, painted by Hallman Lindsey Paints.
We're on the Packers.
This is an enormous season.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And it's not just for Jordan Love.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family-owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Take your pick. Metro Ford of Madison is bringing the heat this summer. Now through August 4th, get 0% APR financing for 48 months on the 2024 Ford F-150, Escape, Bronco, Expedition, or the 2025 Ford Explorer. $20.83 cost per $1,000 finance. And yes, you can defer payments for 90 days with approved credit. Hurry! Offer ends August 4th at Metro Ford of Madison. Browse our inventory at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison. Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lots up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Fly ball to center. It is way back, and it is gone.
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Jason, quick question.
You are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Help me understand a little bit more clearly what you're asking.
Did you ever hear it called Don't Go Jason Waterfalls?
Is this Matt Hamilton?
I say that so helplessly, but I feel like it.
Desperate sound in your voice.
Yeah. I am.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly's Takeover of Wilde and Tausch.
What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that?
The takeover of Wilde and Tausch by Jim, Matt, and Molly continues, but we are thrilled to be joined by Jason Wilde, Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown with you, Primetime Loresheim in the Everlight Solar studio. Jason Wilde at Packers practice, and Jason, I guess The first question I had here, because it seems like a lot of names, maybe new names, are not at Packers practice today. So anything from Coach LaFleur about why people are missing before practice or anything fans should be worried about?
Well, I don't know if anyone needs to be worried about it, but yeah, they've got a pretty good list of guys that are hobbled, and that's why they're not in pads. They're in shells, and we're going to be done in about 14 minutes. Hour and 20-minute practice today, and Matt LaFleur said he did curtail it for that reason. Interestingly, among the guys that are not practicing are, I think, two that are significant, although I don't think their injuries are significant. It's just that, they're starters. So Rasheed Walker has a groin injury. So yesterday we saw Jordan Morgan get a bunch of reps at left tackle. Well, that may have been a factor in it. So if we thought we were able to kind of handicap the race for the left tackle job and said, oh, well, wait a minute now, look at all these snaps that Jordan Morgan's getting. Maybe Jordan Morgan is moving into position. I mean, it depends what you do with the snaps, but he was getting the snaps because I don't know if this happened during his lap or when he hurt his groin, but Rasheed Walker was not out there for a lot of yesterday, and now he's out completely today, so more reps for him. And then the other one of note is Nate Hobbs. So everyone's a lot safer at practice today, but he's got a knee that is keeping him out. There was some concern a little bit yesterday because Jaden Reed dropped out of practice. Not only is it a toe injury, but apparently it's not a serious one because he's been out here. He ran with both the number 1 offense, and then he ran with the number 3 offense. So if you have a toe injury, taking snaps with the number 3 offense probably wouldn't happen if it was a real concern. So clearly it's not, and he had a really nice juggling catch that was tipped by a defender that he came down with. So it looks like Jaden Reed is fine.
Jason, is there anything new with Elton Jenkins that I haven't heard?
Hey, he's playing center.
How does he know what you know?
Well, no, like the contract things. Like, I was gone for 4 days. Like, I might have missed it. Believe it or not, I am not the most dialed-in person on the show.
Color me surprised. He doesn't know what you know.
Yeah, he doesn't know what you knew or don't know.
He can make a pretty safe assumption.
So, Jason, he knows nothing. He didn't even know that he was playing center this year.
Yeah, so I would say this. Channel3000.com. It's free. They don't have, my old gig at the State Journal. There was a paywall, and I would get these people who I would tweet out the link to a story, and then all they'd write was paywall. Yeah, well, some people are trying to, pay me. And so that's part of it. But now the great team at WISC TV3 does such a great job with their advertising work and everything else that we're able to have our Packers coverage be 100% free of charge. So, Matt, you can download the app and read it, but you can get caught up fairly easily. But to answer your question,
if you know how
I don't
to
think
read.
there's much new.
Your wife can
No,
read
I
it
know
to
you
you
do. Come on.
bedtime story.
Bedtime.
That would be something. So I would say this to answer your question. I think he's really he looks more and more comfortable every day. So that's part of it. This, again, is something that he wanted to do later in his career, and they brought it up to him right away in his exit interview after the season because it was pretty clear they were not going to keep Josh Myers as their starting center. So this is all kind of going according to plan, except for his plan to get himself some guaranteed money. That part obviously did not go according to plan as he had been hoping. So, unfortunately, and we have, it would appear to be, oh boy, this can't be good because there's a lot of guys kneeling, and it's Emmanuel Wilson who went out on a ball down the field, and Jordan Love overthrew him, and he was kind of twisting and turning, trying to make the catch. It fell incomplete, and then he hit the ground, and he did not get back up. So he's got the training staff over there with him at the moment. Jordan Love's over there checking him out too. So The guys look concerned. I don't know what he did. It's hard to see from the side of the field, but it is clearly something that's got the guys concerned. So I'll update you on that as we get hopefully some more info. But guys do look concerned at the moment. As far as Elton Jenkins, he's still playing center, and the fact that Matt doesn't know what's going on is not especially surprising. And Emmanuel Wilson is up now, and the crowd is cheering. It looks like maybe it's I don't want to guess, but he's being helped off the field.
All right, well, let's hope that he's all good. Another injury, Marshawn Lloyd. Do we know anything with him? Obviously, we heard that it was the groin the other day, but is there any update there?
Yeah, he's not practicing. He won't take part tomorrow night on family night. I think that the good news is that it's not a colossal long-term injury. Obviously, he's had incredibly bad luck throughout his first year and change in the NFL. Like I was saying earlier, I don't necessarily buy the it happened right before the groin injury happened right before Nate Hobbs hit him. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but I'm guessing getting hit while the groin injury was occurring probably was not exactly helpful either. So that's a concern, just because I think they're really excited, Molly, about what he could do for them. But now he's out, and now obviously Emmanuel Wilson has left practice, so they're getting a little light at running back at the moment. And this is what Ted Thompson always used to say: you can think you got all kinds of good depth, and then you're one or two twisted ankles away from being in a little bit of trouble. So they definitely want Marshawn Lloyd back sooner rather than later, because he's not only do they like what he is potentially capable of, but he didn't get nearly enough work last year as a rookie. He basically took a medical red shirt, so they need him to be getting these reps.
Yeah, and where he was picked, I think they were counting on him to be almost like a compliment to Jacobs. I want to
no doubt.
switch here. ESPN put out a story about like the top coaching staffs. Packers fell in at 10, right in front of the Lions. Vikings at 1. I think the Packers at 10 seems pretty fair. Chris Canty on Unsportsmanlike, which you can hear here on ESPN Madison with Evan Cohen and Marcel Smallman weekday mornings. He had this to say, and I wanted to kind of hear what your thoughts were about Coach LaFleur. It seemed complimentary.
This is somebody that the organization was on the fence on before last season on whether or not they were going to fire his ass. So I'm not going to sit here and crown Nick Sirianni because they went on a magic carpet ride run. I'm not going to do it. Listen, everybody wanted to line up and crown Doug Peterson. They ran his ass out of town a few years after he won the chip. And that was the Eagles' first Super Bowl title. So I'm not going to crown him. Conversely, what Matt LaFleur has done, what I've seen in Green Bay, transitioning from a legendary quarterback in Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love and keeping that succession of 30-plus years of outstanding quarterback play going in Green Bay is impressive. He would have been in the playoffs every single year had Aaron Rodgers not lost a Week 18 winning-in game against the Detroit Lions, who had nothing to play for that season. So, yeah, I got a bank full of respect for Matt LaFleur in terms of his program building. A ton of it.
Jason, I'll let you react to what Canty said. Pretty complimentary.
Yeah, and not so complimentary of Nick Sirianni, though. Or of the way the Eagles.
The Eagles were 8th on the list.
Or the way the Eagles operate.
Yes.
Yeah, look. I mean, I think, and one of the reasons why I was interested in what you said there was that the Lions are 11th, right? Because the jury is so much out. They were talking about it last night on the broadcast when Musburger wasn't telling stories about gambling. That with two new coordinators, and Sirianni's a perfect example, right? They go to a Super Bowl with two coordinators who then get head coaching jobs. They still made the playoffs the following year, but there were people that were really down on Sirianni, and he changes out coordinators again after 1 year, and then he's got two guys that one's been a head coach and then one ends up getting a head coaching job in Kellen Moore. So now we'll see again what he's like offensively with his new offensive coordinator yet again. Look, I would say this about Matt LaFleur. I think he's a very good coach. I think he's smart. We spent some time on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning talking about this, and I know, Molly, you and I talked about this earlier today. Like, I understand that there's some questions about the physicality at camp and whatever else, but, I think Matt LaFleur in year 7 has really hit his stride in terms of, kind of understanding how to be an effective head coach. He's hired a good staff. He brings guys back that become available and puts them in positions where they can augment his staff without undercutting the guys who actually have the jobs, like bringing back Hackett, bringing back Getsy, having Robert Saleh here last year. So I think 10 is probably a good spot. Obviously Hafley, if his defense has another year like this year, like he did last year, I think they're going to be looking for a defensive coordinator because I think he's going to get a head coaching job in the next cycle. So, Steno, the challenge for any offensive coordinator whose head coach is the play caller offensively is to carve out his own niche. But he got 2 head coaching interviews, right? He got one with the Jets and one with the Bears, I think. I mean, he's a pretty well-respected guy. So they've got a good staff. But, again, that's obviously part of the equation. And I'm finishing up my story about the ball king today. And the question I had for LaFleur this morning was, everybody has things they emphasize, and everybody wants to get more turnovers. But when it comes to this ball king thing, how important is it that there's like an excitement about it? And I think that's what good coaches do. He said, if you're entertaining in how you present stuff in meetings, you're going to get guys more engaged. And I think that is probably one of the areas where he's grown the most as a coach. Like his speeches to the team, I think he was always uncomfortable with that early on. I think he's found his rhythm there. To me, the biggest challenge for him and his staff is to reinvent the wheel of their offense to make sure that they're not predictable. And last year, there were too many times where they were relying on guys to get open on their own and win their one-on-ones. And that is not the way this offense is supposed to run. This offense is supposed to scheme guys open. They get the ball, and then they make things happen with the ball in their hand.
Yeah, absolutely, Jason. That is what seemed to work in 2023. We've got a texter, Michael in Oregon, wanting to know.
Oregon.
Well, it could be Oregon or Oregon.
It's a 608 number.
Oh, that's fair.
He's on his way to Green Bay, taking his girls to their first Lambeau experience, and they're spending 2 nights at the Tundra Lodge. Do you have any family-friendly recommendations for restaurants?
Well, you gotta if you want good food, and they do have ice cream according to the Wilde and Tausch rule of whether or not we can mention things. They have to have ice cream to get free advertising. My favorite pizza restaurant is Rustique Pizzeria in Swamico. My buddy Joe owns it, and it's even if he wasn't my friend, I would love it there. So if you like pizza, that is the must go to. We got a lot of fun things for kids to do in Green Bay. I don't know if they find the tour of the stadium and the Hall of Fame, depending on how old the kids are. Like our girls are now 15 and 14, but when they were like 7 and 8, they had they didn't even want to go on the tour, and my office is on the tour route. So if you think your kids might be interested, I do think the tour is interesting, and I do think the Hall of Fame with all the history is interesting. But I would try and make it. I assume they're going to family night if they're going to be here for 2 nights. I'm not the perfect parent by any stretch. Just ask Paula and the girls. But I would say spend more time at the Tundra Lodge and less time at Lambeau Field if you want to make sure that they're happy.
I think that's a good piece of advice there. Jason, we got to let you get going. Thanks for hopping on and joining your own show twice in one day. Matt Hamilton doesn't show once curling season starts, he won't be on the show twice in a month. So we appreciate it.
Not with comments like that.
In all seriousness, it was, and I love it when I get to go to LaFleur's press conference because he's always confused when I'm there because obviously I have to assume he scheduled it for 9:50 every day, knowing that's in the Wilde and Tausch window. So
it's like a
he got a couple of long-winded. Yeah, exactly, like Newman.
Yeah.
But he got 2 long-winded questions today, and now he'll be off again because I'll be back on the air full-time on the show. But thanks for doing this today. I know you got the big events at Camp Randall and everything else you got going on, but it was nice to be able to be here even for a light practice from start to finish. So I appreciate you guys a lot.
Well, thank you, Jason. We appreciate you. You kind of helped carry this show with all the information you gave us. So thank you very much.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
Thank you.
That's just all good gratitude from all. Ted Lasso will be proud of all of us with the gratitude that we are showing there.
Except for when you dunked on me for not showing up to our show.
He has to get some comments in, Matt.
Yeah.
Savage. He's been too nice today.
But I dunked on you in a very over-the-top way.
Yeah.
I said
fair.
2 times in a month.
Which is way too much.
If I said 2 times in a week, is very real. Like, that's too real. I have to be over the top.
Yeah, okay. I see what you did there.
It's only because Molly informed me yesterday that, like, we have 2 shows left and then we're not hosting a show together as a group till, like October. He said it by Coors Light.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, training camp practices and preseason games are great opportunities for the guys up in Green Bay to make sure they're fully ready for their regular season performances. Well, if they didn't work on things before the games count, there could be some big mistakes that happen in the regular season. Well, the same goes for car maintenance. Get your vehicle checked before you go on a long road trip or an issue comes up during an important, busy time in your life. There is no better vehicle service team than the team I trust over at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Get a tune-up, check the battery, check your tires, change the oil. Make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape so you can focus on the fun of getting from place to place for whatever your next adventure holds. Schedule a service appointment, view vehicle inventory, and learn more about all they have to offer at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. That's ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Fix any issues before it counts. When it comes to your vehicle, take my word for it and trust the fantastic team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. The name you can trust.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today.
In for Pablo Iglesias, I'm Jesse Nelson. Morale has been down for Wisconsin football fans since the end of last season, but appearing on ESPN Madison's Jim, Matt, and Molly, former Badgers running back Melvin Gordon has a message for fans getting ready to come to games at Camp Randall this season.
Just have faith. You not having any faith is not doing anything for our football team. Come in early, be loud, find ways to help give us that advantage when people come into Camp Randall. The fans make the difference. They do.
Find the full interview with Melvin Gordon available on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals help fuel my love for acting. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Ever thought about hitting a golf ball in Camp Randall Stadium? Well, now is your chance. On August 1st and 2nd, you can enjoy a VIP experience while hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium down to custom greens on the field below. Start and end your round with great music, cold beers, food, and numerous golf challenges. Event is open to all ages, but hurry because tee times will go fast. Go to upperdeckgolf.com to book a tee time today. That's upperdeckgolf.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 5th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Atlanta Braves.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in August 5th at 6:15 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family-owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
You gotta get down on Friday. It's time to finish the week off right. It's Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is
Jim, Matt, and Molly, the Takeover, Wilde and Tausch continues live from Camp Randall. Primetime Lordstown back at the Everlight Solar Studio. Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown with you. And it is a Friday. It means it's a feel-good Friday, brought to you by our good friends at Holman Lindsay. And I'll share one story. Hopefully you guys will have time as well. I'll keep it tight. Danny Parkins, who's a national radio host, still goes back to Chicago once a year to do a fundraiser. He started when he was down there. This year, long story short, they raised $750,000. All the money goes to cancer research. I believe his father and maybe another, his brother and maybe another family member passed away with cancer, and he took his platform and has maximized it and raised $750,000. That's impressive for someone who's in radio to be able to pull that kind of dollars in. I wish I had that kind of pull. Matt, you doing something good?
Yeah, I'm doing a golf outing. McFarland-based, my old band teacher and classmate's father passed away a while back, and they're doing a golf outing for scholarships for McFarland students, so pretty cool.
And Molly, we have one on Monday.
Yes, our ESPN Madison Open, our third annual one at TPC Wisconsin, is on Monday, August 4th. We're benefiting Mentoring Positives this year, which is a nonprofit based right here in Madison. And you can donate if you text GOLF to 844-770-3776. All of the money that we raise goes to Mentoring Positives. So that's super exciting.
All right, thanks for listening. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly. You can stream it back on ESPN Wisconsin app.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are